I believe this is the first card we're seeing where the cards that are conjured are shuffled into your library rather than going into your hand or on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is basically a card that each time it attacks, it starts stuffing your deck with lightning bolts.
All right, Dave, talk a little bit about where this card came from.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like I've actually through the years, like through 10 years and plus now, like there have been many sets like where in paper we've actually like toyed with that idea, like how can we give somebody a lightning bolt, right? Like maybe even like with stuff like companion, maybe it's like, oh, if you meet a condition, you could have lightning bolts in your deck. And so many times in the end we're like, oh no, this just seems too hard to get all the pieces together. And so a lot of this stems from some of those earlier designs where like, hey, here's a card where in a digital format it's very easy to give people lightning bolts and other, as we'll see, other memorable iconic cards in the future. Certainly we will hope to be doing similar stuff like this where you get to play with some really nostalgic type of cards.
All right. And Ian, I did see a question in chat that I think is really pertinent before we dive too far into these. How will people acquire these cards?
So these cards are available in
hello
packs that are the Alchemy.
What's up, everyone? Another weird start to the stream.
The same sort of.
I wanted to start the stream on time, but I'm also really curious about this Alchemy format.
This one is associated
What do y'all think? They're showing off. Okay, so if you missed this, hey, what's up, everyone? Cloud Pleaser, how are you? Darth Vash, Millicule. So far, if you missed this, essentially, they're making a new format on Arena called Alchemy. Alchemy is standard, but it's standard with new digital-only cards that are going to be releasing... it sounded like along with each set. Oh, here's one of them. Absorb Energy. So a cancel. 3 mana, counter a spell. Cards in your hand that share a type with the spell perpetually gain -1 to cast. So essentially, it's standard. It's standard, but with digital-only cards and rebalanced cards. I showed an Omnath earlier being rebalanced and re-released into standard. And apparently these changes also impact... Yeah, we're doing the Ban Gauntlet. This Wizard stream is happening, so the Ban Gauntlet is definitely what we're playing in a minute. But this stuff's all just going on. I'm really curious what y'all think of this. Does Historic have Alchemy? Yes. From what they've said, all the new cards are going to be in Historic, and the rebalance cards. That's the part that gives me the biggest fear, I think, is the rebalance cards are also going to be Historic. So what that means, I don't know if you saw these. Let me see if I can find these rebalance cards. That's one of the most interesting parts. All right, hang on. I think they're on the Goldfish Twitter. So this is the part that worries me. So good news is I like more formats. That makes me excited. The weird part of this to me is these rebalance cards. Rebalancing cards is fine. So they're rebalancing these cards for Alchemy. So as you can see, Alchemy standard plus rebalance cards plus more digital only cards. So stuff that people don't like, Azeka's Chariot is getting powered down. Elrond's Epiphany, Goldspan Dragon getting powered down. The weird part is these cards are, the rebalances, the erratas are also impacting Historic. So if you bought Elrond's Epiphany for Historic, it's going to be nerfed kind of incidentally in Historic as well, based on what they're saying on the stream. Gonna be really interesting. I don't know what to make of this format. I know Omnath is back, +1 mana, scries instead of draws, legal in Alchemy, legal in Historic again, based on what they're saying. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what to say about this format. Are you gonna play it? Hey, I'm doing well, Horatio. How are you? I'm glad Epiphany is getting nerfed. And so just so it's super clear, because I made this super clear on the Wizard stream before we started. New Wrath, eh? Double green, double white, destroy all creatures. Creature cards in your hand perpetually get plus. What? That's a weird card. Why? That's a weird mixture. That's a card that it's a Wrath, so it's anti-creature, but it also wants you to be playing a lot of creatures. Is it a format that interests you? Are you going to play this crazy new format? I feel like it's going to lead to less development and playtesting like video games today. Release broken jank and then fix it later. That is a concern. Ooh, should be an enchant. Oh, I like that, Doug. That would be a sweet enchantment. Double green, double white enchantment ETB destroy all creatures, and an Anthem. Oh, why don't you make Magic cards, Doug? Oh, so how's everyone? It's a new format. They're just announcing this now. It's a new format. So here's the TLDR that we've seen so far. And tonight's stream, we're going to talk about this new format because I'm curious what y'all think. And we're going to play the banned Gauntlet modern banned decks, checking out some really busted stuff. We've been talking a lot about, new Ishkana. Oh no. Ishkana 4-mana 3/5 reach. Other spiders you control get +1/+2. 1 in a Golgari hybrid, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, draft a card from Ishkana's spellbook. Oh yeah, I assume Hogaak is pretty busted. So here's what's going on. I know this is a weird start to the stream. Normally there's a countdown and all that stuff, but this is this weird announcement stream with spoilers that's happening right now. So I wanted to turn it on while we were getting warmed up. So here's what's happening. They just announced a new format on Arena called Alchemy. Alchemy is standard, but they're rebalancing busted cards. We just talked about that, like Goldspan has different tax, Azeka's Cherry has different tax. Plus, it has these new cards that come in the Alchemy set. I think they said there's 63 of them that are releasing, and then they're going to release more each set release. So it's like standard plus rebalances plus digital-only cards. Not replacing standard. It is going alongside... Oh, stream is on the website. All right, I forgot. I've been talking about these spoilers, so I forgot to click the button. It should be going up. So that is the format. Not replacing standard. This is on top of standard. So you'll have standard and you'll have alchemy and these new cards, and the rebalances also impact historic on Magic Arena. Will they give me wild cards for my historic cards I nerf? I mean, I would be surprised. Wizards is in the business of making money, not handing out wild cards. If there's one thing we've learned, spider spawning is sweet. So basically, you get a spider. You get to draft one of these spiders. It sounds like. I think it's like the discover mechanic on Hearthstone. I think it's like you probably get a list of 3 of these random ones and choose one of them or something. Will people still be awarded wild cards when a card in standard gets banned? That's the most important part of this. That is a good question. I would hope so. I'm thinking it's unlikely that they're going to give wild cards for the rebalances because they said, hey, what's up, Doug? How are you? Because they said they're going to be rebalancing cards regularly. This isn't like a one-time thing. It sounds like they're planning on regularly rebalancing cards. So I can't imagine they're going to give refunds for those. They better give refunds for bannings. If they don't give refunds for bannings, oh my God, that would be a disaster. Really scared of this. What makes you scared of this, Cabino? I mean, part of it I really like. The part that I really like is it's another format in Arena. And I feel like one of Arena's weaknesses is it doesn't have enough formats. And new Gitrog. Gitrog Horror of Zava. 4-mana Golgari 6/6 Menace. At the beginning of each combat, if it is untapped, an opponent may sack a creature. If they do, tap it, and then seek a land, put it on the battlefield. Tap. I think seek, we saw this before, is just like a random land's going to come out of your deck and go onto the battlefield. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, it perpetually gains. Pay green to black, tap, and sack it to draw. We might have to play Gitrog Tribal. This with original Gitrog actually seems really sweet. So here's the thing I like about this. The thing I like about this is it is another format. If I was in charge, I would probably be adding like Arena to, or adding Pioneer or Modern or something to Arena. But it is another format, and when Standard gets boring, this is something else to do. Psychologist, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. So that's the thing I like the most. Like, it's another option. It's not replacing anything. It's another option. The part I like the least, is I think it just makes things even more expensive. It's like Standard that's more expensive. It lines up with Standard, it rotates with Standard, but you're also going to have to get all these rares and mythics that they're showing, theoretically, or you can get those. Plus, it's going to make Historic more expensive, which, that is weird too. Will this touch Brawl as well? It should touch Historic Brawl. I don't believe it'll... I haven't heard them talk about Brawl, actually. I assume that Historic Brawl gets all these cards, so this will be a new... this new Gitrog will be an option as your commander in Historic Brawl. Not normal Brawl, I wouldn't assume, but Wizards just doesn't have the staff available to put anything like Modern onto Arena. I mean, is that true, though? Like, really... if they have the staff to make 63 brand new cards with digital only mechanics and release them alongside every set release, they really don't have the staff to program in, original Innistrad or something. I'm a little skeptical of that argument just because they're making all these new cards, which seems like it's got to be more work than just putting on old cards. So yeah, the cost is my biggest concern. As an extra format, I don't know. As an extra format, it seems kind of sweet. But anyway, how is everyone doing tonight? How's everyone? We can talk about this as we go along. So how is everyone today? I don't know how long this stream's gonna go for. It might be going for a long time. So I don't know. We'll check in on it. But we got to actually stream some of our Magic as well. So how's everyone doing tonight? Should really have added Pioneer by now. Definitely agree with that. Original Innistrad, sure, but there's so many sets to come out over the past 20 years. Yeah, I mean that's true. It would be a process to get all the older formats on there. What the hell is this? So this is, we'll talk about it more after we start playing Magic, but essentially, there's a new format coming to Arena called Alchemy. Alchemy, where do I see these? I guess I go back to the Goldfish Twitter, might be the easiest place to find these. So Alchemy is standard plus Wizards rebalancing cards plus new digital only cards they're releasing. So essentially it's exactly standard, except in this format, your Faceless Haven's going to be a 3/3 instead of a 4/3. Your Elrond's Epiphany is going to cost an extra mana to foretell. Your Goldspan Dragon is not going to make a treasure when it's targeted with a spell, only when it attacks. So it's standard with nerfs and buffs, plus these new digital only cards that they've just been showing off as we've been talking. This Toralf's Disciple, 3-mana 3/3 haste. When it attacks, conjure 4 lightning bolts into your library. Or this new Selesnya Wrath that gives your creatures +1/+1. Newish Kana Spider Lord that conjures things up. New Gitrog. That's what's going on. And I don't know. I asked on Twitter yesterday, because Wizards was making kind of a big deal about this announcement. I asked on Twitter what people thought it was going to be. No one guessed this. I will say that. No one guessed that. Gonna be very interesting. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm excited or not, honestly. I don't know how to feel about it. New legendary human. Ooh, wait. There's a new. Should we just be watching the stream? Do y'all want to watch the rest of the stream, or should we just start playing Magic? Maybe. Do you want to see the rest of these? Ooh, what is this? Patient Zero. 1 in a black, 2/2 lifelink zombie. Damage isn't removed from creatures your opponents control during cleanups. That's like an unset card. That's an unset card. That's a silver border card. That is a wonky mechanic. Huh. Hey, what's up here, Houdini? Good to see you. All right, anyway, we can talk about this. We'll talk about it as we go along. Let them spoil the cards, and we'll talk about it as we go along. We can do our reminders and start playing Magic. I don't know if that card's good. Is that card good? I mean, part of me is excited because I love new Magic cards, and some of those cards are far out there. Like that is something we've never seen on a Magic card before. So part of me is like, wow, it's gonna be really sweet to build against the odds Patient Zero. Another part of me is like, what are they doing? Like, what is happening with this new format? Depo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Anyway, we'll talk more about the format as we go along. Let's do our reminders and jump into a ban gauntlet. Start playing some Magic, and then as we go along, we talk about this Alchemy format. We talk about whatever else. So replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one in the future. I guess it is like Wither, sort of. I guess it is similar to All Damage has Wither, except not exact. It's similar, not exactly, because you're not shrinking the creature in combat, so it's worse, I think, than All Damage has Wither, because the creature is still going to have higher power. So it's like a watered down version of All Creatures Have Wither. So Rebel YouTube, check that out. Normal YouTube. Oh, did you watch the Kaya Storm deck yesterday? Oh my goodness. The Kaya Storm deck was so amazing. So yeah, if you haven't watched Kaya Storm, definitely check it out on the YouTube channel. Tons of other stuff going up on the YouTube channel. Actually some stuff about Alchemy in the future, all that stuff. So tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube. A reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, not a Patient Zero, not the new Gitrog, not any of those digital exclusives, but real physical paper cardboard Magic cards. You get them at cardkingdom.com, even get a free Goldfish sticker. Let them know you want one, and they'll hook you up the Mike Arnold for the 60th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup tube for you. Otherwise, merch page, clean out Richard's garage, tons of cool stuff there. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. So let's jump into a band gauntlet, and we can talk about this as we are checking out some busted decks in Modern. So this event that we're playing tonight, I'm actually kind of excited about this. We've been talking a lot about the Modern ban list. What could come off the Modern ban list? Why is stuff on the Modern ban list? How's the dogs, by the way? Bear is doing well. He is currently sleeping next to me, so he's doing super well. Will Card Kingdom be selling the erotic cards? So the erotic cards, my understanding is it shouldn't impact paper at all, hopefully. So has anyone heard that they are planning on making unsets playable on Arena? Have not heard anything about that. So this event, I should pull up the deck list to explain this event before we jump into it. So this event is the Modern Ban Gauntlet, and this is basically what it is. It's a event where it has these banned decks in it. It has Affinity before Mox Opal was banned. It has Birthing Pod, Malira Pod. It has Dredge, they're calling Hogaak for some reason. Countercant with Green Sun Zenith. Jund with Deathray Shaman. Eldrazi with Ayavugan. Stoneblade with Uro. Team Rager with Oko. Bloom Titan with Summer. Oh my god, there will be so many. Oh, it's Second Sunrise. Okay, Second Sunrise, Sunny Side Up. Twin Exarch, probably better go with Splitter Twin. Blue Tornado with Treasure Cruise. So essentially, these are all decks that Suzuki for the 13th month. Yeah, the chat in the Magic stream has not been awesome. People have been very upset about this new format. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. I'm doing well. How are you? Big soup chip for you. Thank you. A new land. All right, we gotta look at new cards? Oh, all right, we'll look at the new cards in a minute. Let's let them finish spoiling them, and then we'll talk about them. So that's what we're playing tonight. We will get one of these man decks. We'll be playing against other man decks, and basically, it's a chance to see if these cards are busted. Like, are these cards, do they still feel busted? In a world where we're playing Ragavans, we're playing Urza's Sagas, we're cascading into brutal things, there's Primeval Titans coming down on turn 3, is this stuff still too good? And that's been one of our big conversations lately. I would assume that Hogaak is, like, absolutely broken in this. If I was just looking at these deck lists, I would say Hogaak is probably like top tier as far as most likely to actually go 3-0 with it. What else seems busted? Bloom Titan's probably kind of insane, although I imagine we will punt a lot if we end up with Bloom Titan. Bloom Titan is a really hard deck to play well. Second Sunrise, I don't know if you've ever seen Second Sunrise Eggs. It is like the boringest deck of all time. But you could probably win some games with it. They got some Splinter Twin action, Treasure Cruise, Delver style action. So anyway, let's try an event. Let's see what happens. Oh, the Against Odds was super fun. The Kaya Storm deck is one of my favorite. I don't know if we get to pick a deck or if it just, oh, we do. Oh, all right. Well, chat, up to you, chat, up to you. So the idea of this stream, we're going to play band decks for the entire stream tonight. That is the plan. I don't think we'll get through all 12 of them, but we might be able to get through several of them. So what do you want to see first? What is at the top of your list? And we'll do one. Once we get 2 losses, we'll switch to another one, and we'll just get through as many band decks as possible and see how these decks feel. Play Jund in Richard's honor. Hogaak, please twin. Start with Hogaak. I mean, I think Hogaak is the most busted. Sorry to interrupt you, but love your Commander Clash decks. Hey, thank you, Vaso Kahlo. Good to have you. Welcome. Affinity is my favorite. Give him Twin. Hogaak seem to be the most popular. Also Eldrazi. Pod. I mean, so Hogaak is busted. We know that. Maybe a poll. Should we do a poll? We can do a poll. All right. Let's put up a poll. If any, is there a mod that wants to put up a poll in the chat, or I'll do a straw poll. What deck should we play? All right, so the ones people have mentioned, Hogaak, Affinity, Jund, Eldrazi, Twin. Let's start with those 5. And get your votes in. There's the straw poll. Vote, vote, vote. We'll play one of those decks first. And like I said, we're going to get through as many as possible. And we will also talk about this ridiculous new, as we play an old format of banned cards, we will also talk about this new format and see what people think. So vote in the poll for what deck you want to see first. I don't think anyone's voted yet. 0%. Well, if no one votes, then I'm going to pick. I don't know. What would I pick? I don't even know. I feel like Hogaak is busted, but would it be interesting? Bloom Titan kind of appeals to me just because I want to see how much I punt. I don't know if I've never really played an Amulet Titan deck, and I'm sure I would butcher it. Is the poll broken? Oh, people are voting and it's not. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, wow, this can't be right. There's 17 votes for Hogaak and no one else voted for anything. This poll's got to be bugged. It's got to be. There's no way. There's no way. Okay. Well, I guess Hogaak wins. I guess Hogaak wins. Who would have guessed? All right. Well, Hogaak it is. Waiting for the okay. So if you're not familiar, oh my god, if you're not familiar with this deck. It is busted. If you never saw the Hogaak deck, this isn't one of the older band decks. It's only, what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? Not that long ago. Basically, you want to get Hogaak in your graveyard as quickly as possible. For this, you have things like Stitcher Supplier, you have Hedron Crab. The idea is you mill over Hogaak, you mill over Vengevines, you get a few random creatures, and then you get back your Hogaak for, like, essentially 0 mana, which gets back your Vengevines, and you kind of just smash your opponent to death on turn number 2, turn number 3. It is maybe the most, it is a non-bridge version, although the deck was just as good without bridge. I mean, maybe not just as good, but it was still absolutely dominant after bridge. So I feel like this deck is probably, it's got to be the best. Like, it's hard for me to imagine anything else on this ban list is going to actually keep up with this. Yeah, you get looting as well. Oh my goodness, this deck is so busted. It's so busted. I remember you beating Hogaak with Bear. That was the highlight of Hogaak's time in Standard. Oh, there's a new poll up for the next deck. This one is actually legitimately in the Twitch chat. So get your votes in for the deck that is next. It looks like Eldrazi is in the lead right now. So yeah, get your votes in on the poll. Also tonight, I have some codes to give away. So I mentioned this last stream. PAX Unplugged is coming up, starting in like another week. I think December 8th, and I have a few codes that from December 8th to December 15th will give you all of the cards on Magic Online. You will be able to build. You can play them in the PAX events, or you can play them wherever you want. You can build commander decks, you whatever. So obviously, PAX is giving them away and they'd love you to play some of their events, but you can use the cards for anything. It's not tied to any specific event. So if you are someone who is interested in trying out Magic Online or just wants all the cards for a bit, let me know and I can hook you up because I have a handful of codes to give away. So if that's something that sounds appealing and you are interested in trying out Magic Online, let me know. I just want to give it to people, ideally, who actually want to use them. I was thinking about just, like, giving them away randomly, like we normally do for giveaways, but I don't really want to give them away to people who are not interested in playing Magic Online at all. So as long as you're someone who would actually use them, I would love to give you it. Oh yeah, we gotta update the stream title. Good call. Modern Man Gauntlet and Alchemy chat. So if you would like one of the codes, send me an actual message. Send me a message through Twitch and I will hook you up. All right, so we won the die roll. Do we have a? Well, that sounds horrible. 2 Vengevines, no way to get them in the graveyard. Definitely mulling that. This hand, on the other hand, is pretty good. We will keep. We will put a Lightning Axe to the bottom. And we're even on the, oh my god, we're even on the play. All right, so land and, how do we want to do this? We can Stitcher Supplier into, yeah, let's just Stitcher Supplier. Stitcher Supplier builds up cards. I don't know if this deck can be beat, honestly. You mean I could actually play Moto and not Arena? Yeah. For a week from the 8th. And also, someone told me as well. Wow, really? Okay. Someone told me that you cannot redeem the codes until the 8th. So keep that in mind. If the code says it's not working, that is because it is before the 8th. So yeah, hold on to it to the 8th. If you try to redeem it early, it's gonna not allow you to do it. All right, so there's a Vengevine. All right. I mean, we need to hit a land, but yeah, it's a land. We got a do we win? Is this game? Hogaak is so insanely busted. Like, I mean, we just win, right? We just win. All right, we crack this. We get an Overgrow Tomb. We play a Gravecrawler. This deck is so absurd. We play a Carrion Feeder. That gets back a Vengevine. Sure. And then we will Hogaak. Why did Wizards make this Magic card? Like, this is turn 2. This is turn 2. We didn't even do anything. We mulligan. We didn't do anything, and we're just winning on turn 2. Absolutely ridiculously busted. That is kind of absurd. Well, it's been one game, and I don't think we want to unban this deck. I'm like 99% sure that we do not want to unban this deck. Oh my god. Opponent scoops it up. Opponent played a single lightning bolt. Oh, Wizards. Oh my. That is a full Hogaak experience. That is a full Hogaak experience where it just kills someone's will to play Magic. Sorry, I'm also trying to hand out these codes. I think if you have not requested a code yet, they're all gone. The first people that messaged me, I've handed them all out. I had like 8 of them, I believe. So thank you to everyone who got one. Enjoy it. Starting to separate. Then yeah, that was kind of insane. That was not even close. So that was good. Eldrazi is next. All right. Eldrazi, compared to this, I think Eldrazi is fair. So this is a banned Gauntlet event on Magic Arena where it's modern decks that have been banned, and you're playing against other decks that have banned cards, essentially. Let's play Alchemy. So what do you think of Alchemy? Are you going to play Alchemy? Is it worth it? Are you going to invest in Alchemy? Oh... I still, like I said, I don't know how to feel. I have very mixed feelings on Alchemy. I think good news is to Bunker. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoops here for you. Thank you. I mean, the good news is it's another format, and I like that. If I think of it like standard 2022, I like it. Like standard 2022. That was a nice way to have something to do this summer that was not play a miserable standard format. Alchemy existing, when I think about it, it's like, okay, so when standard is really bad, this gives me something that is not standard to do on Arena, and I think that's good. I like that. On the other hand, it probably is a bad thing for Historic, right? Like, how do you spend your wild cards on a Historic deck if Wizards is just going to nerf the key cards of your deck potentially? Like, what do you even do? Do you just not spend wildcards on Historic? I mean, Alchemy, I feel like Alchemy could have a negative impact. Do we keep this? We got Stitcher Supplier. Only, you know what? All we got to do is mill a Hogaak. Supplier, we can sack it. I think it's not great. Maybe we mulligan. Okay, this is really good. This hand is excellent. We will keep. We will put a Vengevine to the bottom and see if we can win on turn 2. Oh, the way of the Hogaak. Stitcher Supplier. Mill a few cards. Pass the turn. Alchemy will actually make me never spend money. Wow, that is... Those are some harsh words. Never spend money on it again. Wall of Chaos for the 59th month. Hey, Seth, I had an idea for a Commander Clash episode. Everyone builds a secret theme deck. Like something in common, art, number of letters in each card, and then the other players tries to guess what it is. Ooh. Oh, boy. Temple of Mystery, eh? That's some good clean magic. Opponents playing Scrylands and we're hog-hacking them. Wizards has finally lost their mind. I will say that I was watching a bit of, well, we probably should have done this the opposite way. I was watching a bit of the stream earlier, and the reaction from the people watching the official WotC stream was not positive. Not positive even a little. Like, people were, very, very not. Oh my god. This isn't even a good hand, and we're still gonna crush them. Oh yeah, this deck is so ridiculously unfair. This all kind of isn't even enjoyable. Like, it's so easy. Oh, what is Alchemy? Oh boy. So, if you missed it, starting yesterday, Put played a Temple of Mystery, and we have 10 power, 12 power, 14 power, 14 power, and our opponent is, poor opponent. So, Wizards yesterday started hyping up the WotC stream today. Started hyping it up, saying there's a big announcement coming. Everyone was speculating, what's it going to be? Are we getting Pioneer? Are they going to let us dust wild cards finally? Like, what awesome thing is happening? So they start hyping it up. They did this stream today, and the announcement was essentially they're adding a new format called Alchemy to the format. There is not a Jitte deck, unfortunately. Jitte is one of the cards that I'm actually curious if it would be safe to unban. So I kind of wish that there was one, but there's not. So they announced this new format. It is standard, but it's standard with rebalancings, they're calling it, which is essentially, we'll play it tapped, mill ourselves. So it's standard with rebalancings, which is essentially erratas, and they're adding new digital exclusive cards. There will still be real standard. This is an extra format on top of standard. No one's gonna play Alchemy. Yeah, I mean, the announcement did not go over super well. This deck has 2 ban cards. It has Hogaak. What's the other ban card? We got Hogaak. Some of the builds had Bridge from Below, which did get banned. Well, our opponent might be able to kill us here. I mean, that's an Amulet in the Titan deck. Maybe. This is the Summer Bloom version. There's a bounce land. Opponents at 2. They're going to have to make us literally dead, though. They need a trampling, hasty Primeval Titan right now this turn, or they're super dead. Oh, looting. That's right. Duh. Obviously. Yeah, we do have 2. Maybe that's why it's so overpowered. More ban cards. So we got to see the cards. The cards have been spoiled, 10 of them. So they're releasing 63 new digital-only cards. And those cards are going to be legal in Alchemy. They're also going to be legal in Historic. We can look at the cards as we go along. I mean, this is probably the perfect time as our opponent tries to combo off with their Amulet. So here's the cards that they previewed so far. Ominous Traveler, 2-mana 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, draft a card from its spellbook. It perpetually gains. You may spend mana of any color to cast a spell, and you can cast and when you cast a spell, return Ominous Traveler to its controller's. Return a creature named Ominous Traveler you control to its owner's hand. So essentially, kind of like an Elvish Visionary, I guess, with a weird twist where you're drafting from a spellbook. Geist Channeler, 2-mana 1/3 wizard. When it enters a battlefield, choose the instant or sorcery in your hand with mana value 3 or greater. It perpetually gains. This spell costs 2 less to cast. Forsaken Crossroads. Land. It enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color. When as it enters the battlefield, when it enters the battlefield, scry 1. If you weren't the starting player, you may untap it instead, add a mana of the chosen color. That's actually kind of a cool design. All right, opponent's still comboing. That's actually, so I don't know if this, how good is this land? The thing I like about this land is I do think cards that benefit the player who, oh, do we actually have a link now? I clicked it earlier and it took me to Crimson Vow. Oh, okay. We actually do have a page to talk about this. Yeah, when I clicked it earlier, I went to Crimson Vow, so I thought maybe it wasn't working right. So Forsaken Crossroads, I like that it benefits the player who goes last. I think we could use more of that. I think, all right, opponent's still comboing. I think that that's a positive. Patient Zero, that one's just weird. A black grizzly bear with lifelink that says damage isn't removed from creatures your opponents control during their cleanup step. So essentially, you can bolt a creature, that damage is going to stick around, you untap, you bolt it again. Captain Eberhard, 2 mana, 1/1 human soldier, double strike. Spells cast from among the cards you drew this turn cost 1 less to cast. Spells cast from among the cards your opponent drew this turn cost 1. So this is, yeah, it is similar to Everything Has Wither, essentially. This is something we haven't seen before, caring about when you draw cards. Oh, there's a Titan. All right, opponent's getting there. They're getting there. There's another Titan. Does this end with our opponent winning? Wow, maybe the Summer Bloom Titan deck's even more busted than our deck. New Gitrog, 4 mana, 6/6 menace. At the beginning of each combat, if it is untapped, an opponent can tag a creature. If you do tap it, then it seeks out a land to put it on the battlefield. So kind of Desecration Demon. And when a land enters the battlefield under your control, it perpetually gains green-black, tap, sack it to draw a card. Ishkana, drafting stuff from its spellbook, which we don't have the spellbook currently. Begin anew, kind of a weird wrath that wants you to have a lot of creatures. A twist on a cancel that can ramp you. Torov's Disciple is kind of funny. Torov's Disciple. I don't know if this card's good actually either. 3 mana, 3/3 haste. When it attacks, conjure 4 lightning bolts into your library. The thing that I think is hilarious about this card is 8th to 15th Jables McBooties. It's PAX Unplugged is the event's opponent. Haste and Vigilance. I mean, do we just get killed? Did we go off and still just die? I think we did. I think it's pretty hilarious that you can get to a point where you have like 12 lightning bolts, 16 lightning bolts in your library. Like if you get in a few attacks with this, your library is going to be like 20% lightning bolts or something absurd. So, I mean, the cards are like kind of interesting. I think the cards, like, I don't know. None of them read to me super busted. But remember, this is competing with like standard level cards. So Wizard just stole a bunch of mechanics from Hearthstone. I mean, does anyone really own a mechanic? But yes, I think from what I understand, the draft from the spellbook mechanic is literally a Hearthstone mechanic. I don't know if you ever played Discover, but my understanding is there's like a group of cards and then it's going to show you 3 of them at random and then you choose one of them, which I think is like literally Discover from Hearthstone. I will honestly never play the format. All right, okay, raise hands. Is anyone going to play the format? So far I've heard a lot of people saying they won't play the format. I think we're just dead if our opponent knows how to play this. They should be able to get double strike, right? So we had an absolutely busted turn 2, but our opponent had an even more busted, or turn 3, but our opponent had an even more busted turn 3. Persistent damage in Hearthstone. Yeah, I think that's just how damage works in Hearthstone. I'll try it, but I hate it. Nope, never. Nope. Okay, I'll definitely try it. Okay, I will out of curiosity. Well, second question. What would happen if there was Against the Odds, Gitrog Horror of Zava? Or, I don't know, Patient Zero or whatever. Is it just something you're not interested in, like, period? Is it something where it's like, okay, I am not interested in this because I don't have the wild cards for it, but I'm curious to see what it's like? Or is it like, I just don't like this, like, please turn it off. I don't want to know what it is. Yeah, Amulet Titan is like kind of insane. It does seem like there's some interesting cards. Like, that part has me excited. One of the things, at least, that I love most about Magic is just new Magic cards. So the idea that there's more new Magic cards coming out, even if it's for this, like, weird fringe format that most people don't care about, like, that's kind of exciting. Like, we're even today, like, we didn't know there was going to be spoilers. We have these random new crazy Magic cards that we're going to be able to play with a week from now. And even though it's in an arena only format that has positives and negatives, like, there's still new Magic cards, sort of, maybe. Like, I think they count. They count as Magic cards, even if they don't actually exist in card. Wow, opponent figured this out. Well done, opponent. You got us. All right, opponent got in their Amulet practice. So as we were talking about all this, our opponent played 2 hasty double striking Primeval Titans. This is a good example of why Summerbloom is banned. Summerbloom is insanely broken in the Amulet Titan deck. 3 extra land drop. Like, this is turn 3. This is turn 3. Look at what our opponent just did to us. There's no Urza Saga or anything like it. This is just old school Amulet Titan beatdowns. 2 Primeval Titans with haste and trample and vigilance and double strike. That's like infinite damage or 30 something, but still, like, that's kind of insane how good that was. Summerbloom is so, like, in most decks, Summerbloom is nothing. Like, you wouldn't even play it. But in Amulet Titan specific, oh my goodness, it's so good. Will you play Alchemy? 29% yes, 71% no. So what do you think? Here's my biggest concern with Alchemy. So question number 2, do you play Historic? That's what I'm worried about most. If you are a Historic player, and I feel like there are quite a few Historic players, how do we fight this deck? Thoughtseize, I guess? Fatal Push does nothing. Can Assassin's Trophy a bounce land, I guess, sort of. Maybe Assassin's Trophy? So do you play Historic? That's kind of my main concern, is I kind of worry that this new format is going to be a big negative for Historic. I played Historic and I'm annoyed Alchemy is messing with it. No need for Thoughtseize, we go first and win. So you think just stay as aggressive as possible? I mean, I think there's an argument for that on the play. Like, we definitely don't want the Fatal Push, I don't think. And I don't think we want the Lightning Axes. So we can bring in, like, Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think maybe Lightning Axe is okay. Let's do that. No Thoughtseizes, keep the Lightning Axes, go down the Fatal Push for an Assassin's Trophy. So my big concern is if it's going to just kill Historic. Upside is, that's more new cards in Historic. Downside is, the Rata thing is so weird. That's the thing that we haven't talked about much. That's the part that really frightens me. The rebalancing aspect. I don't know how you in good conscience. Can we keep this? So we got Hedron Crab. We get to mill a lot of cards next turn. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of hand that you keep in this deck. Turn 1 Stitcher Spire. Turn 2 Crab, fetch land. That's a lot of cards being milled. Hopefully enough cards being milled that we actually win. So Stitcher Spire milled. We just got to mill Hogaaks and Vengevines, essentially. We mill over a Vengevine. Okay, that's a start. Play Historic and I don't love it. I like Historic. I think Historic has some good aspects. Also, so here I didn't get to see the end of the stream. I also know that Wizards is treating Alchemy as a real format, which is interesting. My understanding is, and they might have mentioned this on the end of the stream that I didn't get to see, but my understanding is there's going to be like Pro Tours or whatever the equivalent of Pro Tours are for Alchemy, Arena Opens. So Wizards is kind of treating this like a real competitive format. Get a Blood Crypt untapped. Mill ourselves. Where's the Hogaak? Oh, still no Hogaak. Okay, Faithless Looting. Bloodghast Gravecrawler. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. We're fizzling. Hit our opponent. For one, this is Hogaak at its worst. Dylan Hunter for the 28th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Ooh, what do you think, Benny? Also, hello. What are your thoughts on Alchemy? Not interested? Did you see my email for the Neoform Affinity deck listed historic? I got it, Benny. I haven't actually gotten a chance to look it over yet, but yes, I do have it, and I'll get back to you after I get a chance to read it over. They literally don't listen to their fan base. That is, I think, reasonable criticism. I think the fact that a lot of people have been asking for like Pioneer to come to. I mean, we're supposed to get Pioneer on Arena already, but the fact that people have been wanting like Pioneer to come to Arena, and other older formats. There's a Hogaak. Okay, that's a good sign. Well, crack this, mill ourselves. Get a Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Mill ourselves. Are we fast? This was another bad hand. Mill ourselves. We have one Vengevine. One Vengevine is not a lot. Well, Stitcher Supplier, show us a Vengevine. Oh, more Hogaaks. All right, well, I mean, Hogaak it up. Tap, 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 tap. Exile, 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 exile. Get back a Vengevine. Oh, we floated mana for no reason. Oh, I guess not no reason. Gravecrawler, Gravecrawler. Go to combat. This deck is absurd. This deck is absurd. Nice, Seth. Like the new card expansion. Hate the rebalance things. Hey, what's up, Gordius? How are you? Yeah, the rebalancing thing is interesting. I actually, honestly, my feeling right now is I like the ideas of rebalancings for... Oh boy, here comes Amulet. I like the idea of rebalancings for Alchemy itself. I think the idea of having standard, but not banning cards and rebalancing them, or something that's similar to standard, but not banning cards, but rebalancing them, I actually think that's a really cool idea. So I really like that aspect of it. That's one of the things I do like. The thing that I don't necessarily like is how it's also going to hit on historic. It's really, so here's my concern, and let me pull up these cards again. So here's my concern. Basically, so opponent's gonna combo for a few hours over here. So here's my concern. Let's take Goldspan Dragon or Alrund's Epiphany. These are cards that see play in standard and also see play in historic. So Goldspan Dragon getting worse, probably a good thing for Alchemy. Goldspan's, on the top end of the curve in standard, or Elrond's Epiphany getting worse. That's a good thing for Alchemy, which is basically standard. The thing that scares me though is this also hits on historic. So if you're someone that's like, hey, I saw this sweet, Elrond's Epiphany deck for historic, I spent all my wild cards on it because it seems like a pretty good deck. And then because of Alchemy, Elrond's Epiphany gets rebalanced into a much worse spell. What do? You don't get a refund on your wild cards. The card wasn't banned, so you're just out of luck. You just spent all this money. And the thing is, they're apparently going to keep doing this regularly, like these rebalancings, like monthly or something. So this is going to be happening all the time. And as someone who likes formats being new, that's there's exciting aspects of it. I like the idea that things are always going to be changing. There's always going to be new. The formats are never going to get stale. That aspect is appealing. But Arena already suffers with being too expensive for a lot of people. How do I tell someone, hey, buy this cool historic deck. Spend your wild cards on this cool historic deck built around Goldspan Dragon, or build around Luminarch's Pyre, or Ezekiel's Chariot, knowing full well that a couple weeks later, it could get eroded into being an unplayable deck. And that person, what are they going to do? They're going to quit Arena? They're going to spend another few $100s to get the wild cards to build another deck? Like, what do you do in that scenario? Like, that's my big concern. Like, the economic aspect, that's the part that scares me and that I dislike. I feel like Alchemy is Wizards' way of avoiding many cards in paper to push people to their digital only formats. I mean, well, maybe. I mean, I think it's certainly a way to sell more cards. I mean, from Wizards' perspective, this is 63 new cards they get to sell. And maybe from Wizards' perspective, your historic deck becoming bad because of a rebalancing is a positive. Like maybe for Wizards, like, oh, that's great. Like, you know, you got to buy more cards. That's good for us. Like that's awesome. You're gonna complain about it a bunch on Twitter or like Reddit or whatever, but we know you're gonna keep playing Magic, so feel free to complain and then go for it. You get the rebalance card for free if that ever happens. Well, so it is true. So sort of. Maybe I wasn't explaining myself well. So if you own a Goldspan Dragon, you will own the regular version and the rebalance version. So if you play Standard, you'll have original Goldspan. If you play Alchemy or Historic, you'll have rebalanced Goldspan. My concern is more like you spend a bunch of wild cards to build the Epiphany deck in Historic. One of the top tier decks in Historic right now is it Epiphany. So you go and you're like, okay, I'm going to spend all my wild cards. I'm going to build this Epiphany deck for Historic. You spend all your wild cards. This is my deck. This is what I'm going to play on the ladder. I'm going to play in tournaments or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Wizard is like, well, we're going to rebalance Epiphany. Now Epiphany has this different text. It doesn't make the birds unless you foretell it. It costs more to foretell. You kind of get wrecked because all of a sudden the deck you spent your wild cards on isn't going to be good anymore. So you still will own your Epiphany. It's not going to disappear, but its text is going to be less beneficial. Wow, this is just like last game. Maybe Bloom Titan is even more busted than Hogaak. Pona gets in. Where does it say it will be affecting Historic in that way? It seems to be its own standalone format, and the card would only affect that format. Yeah, so that was something that I actually clarified, Tanos. So the way Wizards is wording it is, Alchemy and Historic are considered living formats. I actually checked with Lee Sharp on Twitter, and they mentioned on the stream, and I talked to some Wizards people. But yeah, essentially, the rebalance cards will impact both Historic and Alchemy. So it is going to impact both of them. So that's one of my concerns. On the other hand, I like more options. So I think that part of it is exciting for me. And the idea of having a standard that changes, that's kind of exciting too. Like, we have been complaining about Alrund's Epiphany. People have been complaining about Goldspan Dragon. Having something that's similar to standard and has a less dominant version of Epiphany, that's actually kind of exciting too. So I have really mixed feelings. Really mixed feeling. I can see the good and the bad. I always love new Magic cards, so I always am excited about that part. The other stuff, I see good news, I see bad news. Where it ends up, that I am not 100% sure. Like, I don't know. Need some caffeine, Magikarp. So what delicious food are you making to get the caffeine? So as far as the nerfs and buffs, we didn't talk about them that much, but so the nerfs and buffs, Azeka's Chariot, 1 cat, but 2 to crew. Goldspan doesn't make a treasure when it's targeted, only when it attacks. Alrund's Epiphany costs 1 more mana to foretell. You only get the birds if it's foretold. Faceless Haven loses a power. Omnath comes back from the ban list with 1 more mana, and it scries rather than draws with its ETB. Luminarch Aspirant adds the counter on your end step rather than at the beginning of combat. And then we got the buffs. Demolich gains a power. Wizards class, Druid class, each 2 less mana to hit level 3, which I actually think these cards are probably kind of good now. Like, the Druid class might be a legit card in this format, or Wizards class. We had Wizards class combo decks. We've comboed off with Wizards class before. The hard part about Wizards class combo was getting 5 mana for the last level. Like, that was the challenge. 5 mana is a lot. At 3 mana, this actually becomes pretty legit. 1 mana, no max hand size, 3 mana, draw 2, that's a divination, and then 3 mana, get the last mode, or Druid's class, 2 mana, you start gaining life, 3 mana, extra land drops, 3 mana, make a big land, start beating down. So that part's kind of exciting. Faithless Looting. This hand's not very good. We're gonna mulligan. Ooh, this hand I like. This hand I like quite a bit. We can Thoughtseize a Primeval Titan. We can get the Hogaak in the graveyard. We'll get rid of the Assassin's Trophy for now. Hey, what's up, Aussie Dave? How are you this morning? Opponent starts with the Scryland. Fun fact, I actually have an issue with eating on time. The only food I ate all day yesterday was coffee and a single croissant. I forgot to eat all the time. That's kind of surprising, Magikarp, because you always have the best sounding recipes. Whenever you talk about food, it always sounds so good. So I would assume you would always be on top of it. Well, Blood Crypt, untapped. We can't lose. Wait, can we lose already? There is Summer Bloom in this deck. So opponent goes land or Amulet, bounce land, Summer Bloom, we die. I guess Summer Bloom is kind of insane, isn't it? Does this mean we need to Thought Seize? I guess we got to Thought Seize. All right, Thought Seize, yeah. I don't mind rebalancing as an idea where cards are problematic. I mind the fact that rebalancing something for standard and alchemy changes in older formats. Ooh, wow, it's... That's Primeval Titans for days. Well, we'll take the sleight of hand. Oh, opponent's got triple Primeval Titan draw. If they ever get to it, all right, there's a bounce land, gonna pick up the Scry land. Well, we gotta be fast. We gotta be fast if we're gonna have a shot. Arena's the only game I play. I hate to say the new format won't make me quit. I mean, it's not gonna make me, like, I'm kind of excited about it in some ways. Although I can definitely see the downsides too. Hey, Winter Malant, how are you? Good to see you, good to see you. I'll discard a Hogaak, discard a Hogaak. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. I mean, we're off to a slow start. This is not ideal, not the most explosive. Is this the second deck or the first? This is the first. People voted for this. Apparently we're playing Eldrazi next. We're going to play as many decks as possible. Wait to see the response you got from the official MTG Arena Twitter, Seth. What did what did I do? How am I in trouble now? What did I say? I mean, I don't even... Did I even say anything that could make them mad? I don't feel like I did. Not this time. Ooh, Satyr Wayfinder is good. All right, Satyr Wayfinder, mill some cards. Get a Bloodstained Mire. Play a Bloodstained Mire. Get back a Bloodghast. And then crack a Bloodstained Mire. Thin the deck. Get a Blood Crypt tapped. Actually, untapped? Let's go untapped. Carrion Feeder. Hogaak. I mean, this isn't super explosive, but still a Hogaak pretty quickly. All right, Hogaak down. Pass the turn. Apparently, the Alchemy packs will be in the same tab and right next to the regular packs for the set, so it might make players accidentally buy the Alchemy packs instead of the set packs that they wanted. That's a little bit sketchy. Ooh, opponent passes. Okay. Satyr, can we mill ourselves a Vengevine? Milling a Vengevine would be wonderful. Satyr Wayfinder mills. Well, 2 Bloodghasts. Play the land, get back the Bloodghast. Ooh. Can we win before the Titan comes? They come next turn. Crack this down to 11. Get the Swamp. Gravecrawler. Sack the Gravecrawler. Counter on the Carrion Feeder. Ooh, Gravecrawler. Get it back. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Hit ya. Opponent. Down to 7. And then I think we got to get back an untapped Hogaak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get back an untapped Hogaak in case we need to chump block past the turn. I think we might be good. Most cards after rebalancing won't be worth this on their deck. People would just move on to the next best thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the concern with the rebalancings, is that might happen. An opponent gives us the GG, purely to a hive mind. And, well, Hogaak busted. We have learned that. Could you have sacked the Bloodghast couldn't you have sacked the Bloodghast before fetching? We didn't sack a Bloodghast, did we? We sacked the Gravecrawler. I mean, we could have. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. We could have sacked the Bloodghast to get more counters on the Carrion Feeder. Yeah, that would have been the right play. Hey, what's up, Emersh? How are you? Yeah, that is kind of the issue with the biggest issue with Arena is the economy for sure. Also, let me ask you about this, chat. I'm curious. So one of the things this means, jingle time for the 3rd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. How do you feel about the fact that your Goldspan Dragon will have different text in Standard than in Historic? Or in Alchemy, for that matter. Like, that's something that's just kind of weird, too. I don't know. Remember when we were talking mulligan rolls? And I know, I try not to talk about the mulligan roll all the time anymore. But, remember when we were talking about mulligan rolls? And Wizards was like, it would just be way too confusing if Modern had a different mulligan roll than Standard, like, players' heads would explode. Magic players, they're just going to handle that. That would be way too much. That would be way too confusing. We could never do that. Seems a little silly now, when the same card has different text in Standard compared to Historic. So yeah. That part is very, very, very odd. You talk about mulligans all the time. I think I've done pretty good not complaining about London mulligans compared to where it was before when I would bring it up a lot. I feel like I've done a decent job of not bringing up how I dislike the London mulligan rule that often. What impact do you think Alchemy have on paper Standard bannings? Will Wizards be less inclined to resolve paper players' disgruntlement to push them online from a more diverse format? I think that's an interesting question. One of the things I was concerned about, Flame Phoenix, welcome to the Fishbowl, first time sub, big super cheer for you. One of the things I was concerned about, oh boy, we're just gonna get out Hogaaked. Wow, maybe this event is not going to be as fun as I thought because maybe everyone just plays Hogaak because it's busted. So, opponent, no Hogaak, but a pretty good start. Well, Overgrown Tomb, untapped, mill ourselves. Come on, good things, or we're going to die. We need Hogaaks, we need Vengevines. We get, okay, that's a Hogaak. That's a start. Stitcher Supplier. Mill some cards. Can we get a Vengevine or two? No. Gravecrawler. Cast it. Hogaak. Returns. Tap, tap, tap. Well, all right, that can block a Vengevine at least for now. Pass the turn. But one of the things I was concerned with was what was happening. Hey, what's up, Revolution? How are you? What would happen if Alchemy became super popular? Like, what if Wizards makes this Alchemy format and all of a sudden, no one plays Standard and everyone plays Alchemy? Like, remember what happened this past summer when Standard was really bad, so everyone played Standard 2022? What if that happened long term with Alchemy? What would that mean for paper Magic? What would that mean for paper Standard? So that was a concern, but based on the reaction that I've seen so far, at least really enfranchised Magic players, the kind of people who are hanging out at the stream or the Wizard stream or talking about it on Twitter, wow, the reaction has not been good. Revolution, welcome to the Fishbowl for this second month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Opponent going off. Wow, they have not had a Hogaak though, thankfully. At least, yeah. Opponent doing some sacking. Oh, there's the Hogaak. Well, okay. Sure. And remember, this is a version of Hogaak without Bridge from Below, too. I've been told the Rados only apply in Historic. If they get banned in Historic, is that wrong? Ooh, so my understanding is that Historic and Alchemy are considered living formats, and the erratas would apply in both. That's my understanding. So the Goldspan Dragon that's legal in Historic would be the errated version. Now let's I guess Faithless Looting. Blanket Forte! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, mill ourselves. Oh, we might be just short. We need another Hogaak, I guess. We got the Vengevine in the graveyard, but we need 2 creatures. Oh, we got 2 Vengevines. Crack, dig, swamp, mill. We need to hit a Hogaak. We need to hit a Hogaak. Mill. Oh, 3 Vengevines. Okay, we get one more shot. We get one more shot with Satyr Wayfinder. Hogaak for the win and all the Vengevines in the world? No. Oh, no. Well, okay. Pass the turn. Now we're at the Hogaak standoff. So that's my understanding. We'll see. Like, this information's just coming out. So I guess I'm not 1,000,000% sure on that, but that's my current understanding. It took them over a year to add Brawl because they were worried that they couldn't support the queues, and now they're just adding random queues. I mean, honestly, do you want the... I don't even think this is a conspiracy theory. My thinking would be that Brawl wasn't a priority because it's not very profitable. But this, I think, Wizards, it gives them a bunch of new cards they can print, every single set. It makes players buy new cards and decks as their decks get nerfed. So I feel like maybe that's why this sounds appealing to Wizards and other ones didn't. I'm just looking through the Alchemy cards now. They look super cool. I know I won't be able to get the wild cards to make the decks I want, but I'm hyped for the brews I can make. I mean, I'm there with you in that aspect for sure, side of the celery guy. Like, I love new Magic cards. Like, I want to jam the Gitrogs together and build Gitrog Tribal. To me, that sounds really fun. And even though I would rather have Pioneer added to Arena, I would rather have Modern added to Arena, I would rather have Legacy or Vintage, whatever. Like, I would like to see Arena backtrack and try to add more of the older formats. Having more formats in any form is a good thing. Like, I don't play Brawl, but I think Brawl being added to Arena is great. Like, I think that's a really, really good thing because it really matters to some players. And just because I'm not a Brawl player doesn't mean, doesn't mean that's a bad thing. So that part I really like about it. Going to combat. Passes. We draw Gravecrawler. How do we get a Hogaak? We need these Vengevines and we just can't do it. Are we losing the mirror? The big difference has been our opponent has this carrion feeder, which has been carrying our opponent. I mean, what do you think this does for... Well, the problem with looting is if we looting, well, I guess we can looting, discard a Hogaak, end up with a land in hand to cast a Gravecrawler. That might be our best outcome. Draw a Hogaak land, discard Hogaak, play the land. Well, discard and discard. All right, well, if we get another turn, we can get back the Vengevines. I don't know if we live another turn. Is Alchemy coming to Arena to disprove Wizards will do anything to make sure Pioneer, Modern, etc. As far as possible from getting into Arena? I don't know the answer to that. It is weird to me. I'm not sure why they went this direction. I'm not sure why they went this direction rather than the direction of adding something like Pioneer. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on why that would be? Speaking of Brawl, I really enjoyed Brewer's Kitchen last video. Yeah, Phil makes some really good videos. I usually spend $50 a set, probably just take the money, build a Pioneer deck or two on Moto. I mean, it is funny, but Moto is like the budget client if you're a paying customer. Obviously, Arena has upside of having free-to-play mode if you're trying to free-to-play, but as far as someone who's spending money, Moto's just cheaper. Yeah, I think we're gonna be a little too slow. Save to unban pod. We haven't got to play pod yet. Pod is on the list. We're getting to it. We're going to get to it. Hey, what's up, Dyfod? Loved your Kaya Storm and your skill to pilot it. If you don't mind, here's a deck I've been trying to make competitive. Ooh, let me see, Dyfod. Also, how are things? All right, here's the big attack. Are we dead? I don't think so. Block. 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 We're only taking 4? Yeah, we'll take 4, sure. All right, stuff dies. Stuff gets milled. Veil Storm. Ooh. We dropped to 5. We mill some cards. All right. Well, I mean, Hogaak in the graveyard's a good thing. This might come down to our opponent running out of cards. Possibly. Yeah, Alter would would make it easy to win here. Opponent Gravecaller. 1 card in hand. No one's hit an Alter yet. Veilstorm is spicy. What is the Veil? Ooh. Wait, huh. I think I'm confused. What are all the pump spells doing? I'm like incredibly confused. Actually, I have no idea what this deck's trying to do. Oh, I guess are they card draw? Oh, it's like Venture Storm? Yeah, I'm super confused. Dyfon, you got me fully confused on that one. Okay, so let's see if we can win, or at least not lose. So, step 1. Stitcher's Supplier. Mill some cards. Step 2. Gravecrawler. Get back 3 Vengevines. We are at 5, though. 5 is not a high life total. Gravecrawler can't block. Hogaak. Tap the Gravecrawlers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the big avatar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I mean, we're not dead. Polluted Delta. Milieu. Pass the turd. Oh, we gave him a Vengevine. I don't know how this ends. Moonveil Regent plus Burgie. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, that's the Veil is the Moonveil Regent. Interesting. I mean, that's definitely a cool idea. I was the pump spells. I was looking for like a Vadrak or something as an obvious pump spell target, but they're basically just cheap spells that can target. I wonder. Oh, what is the blue thing that when you target something you get a copy? That would be kind of hilarious. I don't know if that would make the deck more effective, but it would be pretty funny to just like make 1,000,000 copies of Moonveil. Then you'd really be going off. Recently watched a video about Vanifer combo and Pioneer inverter combo version. Will the deck work without inverter? Any win con tips? Oh boy. Honestly, it's been so long. Orvar! Yes, it's been a minute since we've Orvar'd. Orvar would be hilarious in that deck if you'd make it work. That actually sounds really sweet. It's been so long since I've looked at that deck, Daniel. I would actually have to go back and look at it. I don't I remember playing it, but I don't remember the intricacies of Vannifar combo and Pioneer. So I'm actually not 100% sure if it could work with. Oh, okay, so we're dead. All right, well, close to milling our opponent out, but not quite enough. Yeah, so they have enough attackers, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, we're super dead. Well, now we play the Mulligan for Leyline. The Mulligan for Leyline subgame. Not the most exciting subgame. Leyline's in. Decks were so warped around trying to beat the Hogaak decks that a decent amount of the sideboard is for this matchup. So Leyline's in, Plague Engineers in. Go down Lightning Axes, go down Fatal Pushes, go down a Satyr Wayfinder and maybe 2 Satyr Wayfinders, try like that. Force of Vigor to try to hit the Altar of Dementia. I don't know if that's worth it, honestly. Force of Vigor to deal with our opponent's ley lines. I mean, that's probably worth it in some number. How about that? We'll bring in 2 forces to deal with our opponent's ley lines. Yeah, I mean, this was a format where you're playing main deck ley line and still losing to Hogaak. So where are we at with Alchemy? I mean, we've been talking about it all stream. Hey, what's up, Bulldog? How are you? Good and bad. Excited for new Magic cards, excited for more formats, even if it's not the format I would choose. Worried about increasing costs, worried about what the change cards are going to do to... Yeah, we got a ley line we're keeping. Worried about what the changed cards are going to do to historic and specific. Well, we got the ley line and we got the Hogaak and Avengemind, so this hand's actually pretty good. Should I be concerned that Alchemy is Wizards' way of greasing the skids for Magic to become an online product? I'm not particularly worried about that. Wizards make so... Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, well, ley lines all around. Land tapped, go. I'm not especially worried about that. I think that Wizards make so much off of like Commander that I don't think paper Magic's going away. I do think it's fair to be... Wow, okay. I do think it's fair to be concerned about the future of like paper standard and so forth, but I think we're still in wait and see mode. We still haven't gotten any announcements about organized play or anything, so Dryce, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, Seth got a new job at a CBD shop, so I can join in the watching from work crew. Hey, awesome, Ducky Sausage. Welcome. A CBD shop job sounds interesting. Well, discard a Hogaak. Discard a Gemstone Mine. Play the land pass the turn. Organized play is gone, but store championships are coming back. I mean, I have heard the littlest rumblings, just like... The littlest rumblings that it's possible that there'll be good organized play news. Nothing that I could hang my hat on. Nothing I could be like, oh, this person said this or anything like that. But just from like talking to people who, were at events where Wizards people were and all that stuff, I don't know. I got a little bit of a good feeling that there could be good news about organized play. Maybe I should not have that feeling, and it's totally all goes to nothing, but I don't think it's impossible that we get good news. In 2022 about organized play. Our shop in Ottawa is running Pioneers. Do you still have a pretty good Pioneer scene there, Backlash? The rise and fall of Pioneer has been one of the weirder and sadder developments. I mean, the rise was good. Pioneer was like super fun when it first came out. Yeah, maybe we should just be running out Stitchers and trying to attack. Satyr Wayfinder. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that we can just dig into our answer to Leyline and then we win. Like, if we're the one that has Leyline and our opponent doesn't, then we should be in really good shape. Gravecrawler. Well, speaking of beats, you know what? Actually, we're probably more likely to discard that. Pass the turn. We're going to wait. Try to discard it. Arena needs Pioneer and Pioneer needs Arena. Definitely agree. That would be the biggest thing for Arena. It would be good for, or the biggest thing for Pioneer. It'd be good for Arena too. I've been trying to get Pioneer back. My area is cycle of, there's no events, so no one has decks, so there's no events. Yeah, sometimes you get that like chicken and the egg issue with formats. Every store in my area is doing Modern Championship. I mean, I think Modern's still pretty popular in paper. that sounds awesome, Ducky. I think the best way to look at Alchemy is what Historic was supposed to be, a way for them to implement things digitally that couldn't be done in paper without messing with Standard or Modern. Opponent gets to hardcast it. Wow, we're losing. We're losing this Leyline war. Hedron Crab is bad. Gravecrawler's bad. Oh, no! Well, we found the one way that Hogaak can lose, which is to other Hogaaks. Other Hogaaks that hit their land drops and have Leyline about it. Oh, yeah, all right. Well, 4, 8, 6, 5. This dead. Okay. Yeah. Well, so we went 2-1 with Hogaak, which I guess is fine. Although, honestly, boy, I'm so glad that deck is banned. Like, it's not even an enjoyable deck. It's just so overpowered. It's just so overpowered that it's not even especially fun to play. It's just like so working on a different level. So the deck people voted on next is Eldrazi. And I will say, this is kind of a weird build of Eldrazi. This is not, so the story of Eldrazi ended up being really dominant is colorless Eldrazi. That was like the build that took over Pro Tour Oath of the Gatewatch. It was insane. It was playing the zero matter endless one? I think it's endless one. But like the zero man Eldrazi, it was really, really fast and low to the ground. So that deck came out. That deck was broken. And then the blue-white Eldrazi deck was like the Eldrazi deck. Oh, I guess the endless one is here in some numbers. But this is kind of a more mid-rangey build. And the blue-white build, from what I remember, was designed to be the Eldrazi deck that beat the other Eldrazi decks. Because remember, this was like Eldrazi winter. This is when everyone was just playing Eldrazi. That was the whole format, was Eldrazi versus Eldrazi versus Eldrazi. So this was the Eldrazi deck that was supposed to beat the other versions of Eldrazi. Yeah, Bant came along too, which was similar to this one. If you look at it cynically, sure, but it's still the same kind of thing that recently got digital play for a variety of reasons. It's just better for casual player base and acquiring new Magic players. I think I missed something there. So yeah, next up Eldrazi. We will try to get to Pod. I want to get to Pod for sure. Yeah, this was supposed to be the Eldrazi deck to beat the other ones. Also, it's kind of funny to see Cyclonic Rift being actually played outside of Commander. I associate this card so much with Commander that I forget that it's a card you can actually play in other formats, but every once in a while it shows up. Oh no, are we talking Pizza Stream? Oh. What was the last matchup? So we went 2-1 with Hogaak. For some reason, everyone voted for Hogaak as the first deck, and the deck is ridiculously busted. Won the die roll. Yes, we would like to play first. Ooh, boy. All the lands in the world. None of that. Oh, no! What's up with these hands? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. These are like the worst hands. We need to do another pizza stream, but y'all gotta be nice. No, we might have to do a... Oh, boy. Well, I don't think we had to cap any of these hands, but yikes, this is not good. Not what we wanted to see. Well, I guess bottom and... I don't even know. Bottom and bottom? Ooh, well, Flooded Strand go. We got to do another pizza stream, but no anchovies, please. Oh, was asking about a pizza in the previous question if you'd be into it. Oh, I think I missed the previous question. Schwamp for our All right, Hogaak. Huh. I kind of wonder if Wizards should remove Hogaak from this queue. So far, so we've played what? We played Hogaak. We played against Hogaak twice. If everyone's just playing Hogaak, I feel like this, and probably correctly if you're trying to win, but it probably makes the event a lot less interesting. Ooh, a joint pizza stream. Oh, you got the good pizza out there, Tanos. Pizza question for you, Seth. Pizza with barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce, grilled chicken, and green onion slices with an emphasis on Parmesan and mozzarella. So, not a big fan of barbecue sauce, personally. Not a barbecue, like in general, I don't really like barbecue sauce that much. The rest of it sounds really good. But probably no to the barbecue sauce. All right, so opponent going to get a Hogaak and a Vengevine. Well, what graveyard hates in the sideboard of this deck? Nalagilla! Thanks for the key. This dad of 3 little ones. Super excited to try Moto when the kids go to bed. Oh, well, Nalagilla, just so it's clear, it starts December 8th. December 8th to 15th. But you're very welcome, and I hope you enjoy it. This deck's kind of sweet. I mean, in this event, I think it's sweet. Wow, opponent... Our chance of winning might be that our opponent maybe doesn't... I don't know what's going on. Couldn't they have just played a Hogaak and wrecked us? They didn't... 1, 2, 3... I guess they didn't want to exile the Vengevine? Huh. Well, this land situation is definitely a problem. But I think our best bet is, as awkward as this is... Path of Stitcher Supplier. If we can keep the creatures off the battlefield, they don't have the creatures necessary to get back the Hogaak? Maybe? Oh my god. Ah! Where's the Ayamugans? Where's the Ayamugans? Thank you for the history lesson. I started Moto during Kaladesh, so I don't know much about the game's past. Keep up the quality content. Hey, thank you, Ring Chaser. I appreciate the cheer and the kind words. Thank you. America's pretty bad sometimes, but we do great pizza. I mean, is America just top tier pizza? It's gotta be. Have you ever ate Brazilian food? So honestly, I'm not the most adventurous eater. I've never eaten Brazilian food. You could name a lot of other countries and ask that, and the answer would probably be no. When we're in Vegas, this is the story that will drive it home. So last time we had GP Vegas, Krim really wanted to go to like a super fancy Vegas buffet. So we went to some like really, really expensive, like super Vegas-y buffet. We go to this buffet, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever been to a Vegas buffet. It's huge. It's like multiple rooms, and oh my god, we're just gonna concede. We don't have enough lands to do anything. So it's like multiple rooms. It's the biggest buffet, and pretty much any food you can imagine is at this buffet. And and Krim was almost as bad as I was. Richard gave us a super hard time about it. But me and Krim go scrounging through this buffet, and we're like getting the pepperoni pizza, looking for the French fries, and there's like every crazy delicious food from all over the world available there, and that's kind of what looking for the cheeseburger. and I think Richard was a little mad. Richard was like, we spent so much money to go on this like awesome buffet, and we could have just ordered a pizza. We could have went to Domino's, and it would have been the same thing. Oh, tendies only, exactly. So you know, Hugmaster, you know how it is. Well, I get 2 rest in peace. So there were codes, but they've been all given away already. Halloween. I do know though that you can buy the code for the week as well. If you buy an entry into one of the PAX Unplugged events that are December 8th through 15th, you will also gain access to to all the cards for that week. So that is an option worth keeping in mind. Grafdigger's Cage, that helps. Dismember doesn't seem very good. All right, we gotta see this deck go off. That was an embarrassing Eldrazi performance. No. Yeah, that was like the worst Eldrazi performance. Maybe we just go down this Metamorph. Let's try it like that. Bring in the Graveyard Hate. Run it back. This time draw a land or two. Is Hogaak the most broken deck in this event? Yeah, I think so. That's been our experience so far, that we played Hogaak. The only way we lost was to another Hogaak deck. A lot of other people seem to be playing Hogaak, to the point where I kind of wish they would get, maybe they need to remove it from the ban Gauntlet. Like, too many people are picking it, I think. Is there a 1 cent explanation with this Alchemy? 1 sentence. Can't talk at the moment. 1 sentence explanation of what Alchemy is about. Yes. Here is the 1 sentence explanation. Alchemy. Oh no, are you voting for eggs? You're what? Oh my goodness. Oh, well, at least it's not Amulet Titan. So here's a 1 sentence explanation. Alchemy is standard, but it's standard plus, I mean, Hearthstone standard is a pretty good way to put it. It's standard plus a bunch of new digital only cards that'll be releasing alongside every set, and rebalancings of cards. So the text on the card can change, like Goldspan Dragon or whatever. So standard plus rebalancings plus more new digital only cards alongside every set. That equals Alchemy, and this equals exactly what you want to see. Well, outside of like lacking an Eye of Ugin, this is exactly what you want to see against Hogaak. Rest in Peace coming down, shutting down the graveyard, following it up with Thought Knots and Reality Smashers. That's a pretty good ad. Do you think Historic's destroyed? My concern is not that Historic will be unfun. I feel like Historic will still be fun. My concern is that I don't know if anyone will buy into Historic because of the economic aspects. I do think it's kind of cool, like the rebalancings. Parts of it are cool. I think it's cool that like Druid class isn't good enough, so we can power it up a little bit. That's actually kind of neat. I actually kind of like that. On the other hand, I also worry that it'll incentivize Wizards to be, I don't know if lazy is the perfect word, but let's go with lazy. Like, I'm worried that it'll incentivize Wizards to be lazy with their designs and be like, well, I mean, whatever. Let's just dump all these cards out in the wild. We can always just, rebalance them. Well, opponent had the answer. We can always just rebalance them later if need be. Oh, chat. I voted for eggs. Well, that'll be interesting. Oh, we got to play eggs. We probably got to play Amulet Titan just because I want to see how much I punt. Literally, no one wants their historic cards that are already cool, permanently altered for historic and historic brawl. The changes will kill both formats. I mean, I think that's one of my big concerns with it. I don't know if I'd go as far as say kill both formats, but that is one of my big concerns. I think that the rebalancings, like if Wizards wanted to rebalance standard cards for Alchemy and then get cards off the historic ban list by rebalancing them, that I could probably get by. Like that would probably be cool. But I do think just changing standard cards, changing standard cards that are also played in historic for the sake of Alchemy, that I think is a risk to the health of historic. Do you think it risks creating a divide between paper only players and online only players? Oh yeah, I think it definitely does that. I think it certainly pushes digital Magic further away from paper Magic. I mean, I don't even think there's any debate. Like that is what it's doing. I think you can debate whether or not that's like a bad thing in an absolute sense. Oh dear. Over a tomb, does some milling. Well, boy, we've had some mana troubles this game. That's been our biggest issue, and our opponent had the answer to the graveyard. Boy, Hogaak is so incredibly busted. So do you think, is it Emerge or emerge variants are good in Pioneer, or has potential to be, or is the deck outdated for today's power level? I think you could have an emerge deck that was successful. God. All right. So that's multiple Vengevines. That's a Hogaak. This deck feels borderline just unbeatable. We even had the turn 2 Rest in Peace. And it's, oh boy, this is giving me flashbacks, nightmares. For back when this deck was actually illegal in Modern, speaking about things that killed things, this deck sort of killed, yeah, all right, on to the next one. Please don't be playing Hogaak. I wish Nerf's buffs didn't automatically apply to Historic. That's kind of my feeling too. Although it would be pretty funny if like Goldspan Dragon had standard text, had alchemy text, and had historic text. Like if you had three different versions of the same card. Like that's kind of ridiculous. I don't think I want to board as if we're going to play against Hogaak. Like our first run when we were playing Hogaak, we did play 3 different decks. Hogaak seems to be the deck that's most picked, but any recommendation for a deck in Modern for this week's Store Championship? I mean, there's a lot of good options in Modern. I'm kind of partial to Hammer Time. I mean, where's our... Well, I mean, this hand's fine. It does not have... We haven't seen an Eye of Ugin. We have not seen our banned cards. I like Hammer Time. Hammer Time is like a legitimate top-tier deck. Ooh, Eldrazi Mirror. Oh. Wow. Okay, so it seems like we're getting a sense of the kind of decks that people pick. And it's Hogaak and Amulet seem to be very popular. Well, we're up to 5 different versions of each card in paper, all functionally identical, but still. I mean, being functionally identical, I think, helps. Opponent, Serum Visions. This deck is funny. Do you remember when the... Yeah, I guess they're planning on picking it up with a bounce land anyway, so they figure it just doesn't really matter. I'm assuming. Well, this isn't great, but let's... Endless One, Grow the Mimic, sure, Vesuva, on Eldrazi Temple, Hitcha. Unfortunately, Dismember not quite big enough to kill a Titan. Uploaded. Do you remember when this deck came out and there was a person who... The person who was winning all the time with it, and it turns out they were stacking their deck and that's why they were winning all the time with it? I guess, was it Steven Speck? Was that the person's name? I don't want to accidentally name the wrong person, but I'm pretty sure the person who won all the time and then they found out was stacking their deck was named Steven. So, because everyone's like, how do they do it all the time? Like, it doesn't make any sense. They just always have the turn 2 Primeval Titan. And it turns out they actually really did always have the turn 2 Primeval Titan, and that's because they were sticking it there. Well, so triple Amulet's so ridiculously scary. Sure. Boom. Oddly, this Eldrazi deck is actually kind of feeling fair. Like, compared to the Hogaaks of the world, could we be in a world where Eldrazi could be unbannable? What do we get for you to show us Bear right now? Hey, Bearby. Are you awake, bud? Come here. Do I have a treat? Hang on. Let me see. He's kind of sleeping, but... Well, no, he's not sleeping. You want a treat? Here, come here. You want a treat? Yeah? Yeah? Come on. You want a treat? Come over and say hi to people. Come here. Come here, bud. Come here, baby. Here. Here, come here. Come up with Daddy. Come here. Come here, bud. Oh, ready? Oh, there you go, buddy. There you go. Here he is. Do you want your treat? There you go. There you go, buddy. Can you say hi to everyone? Say hello. Say hello. Hey, buddy. There he is. Oh, he's going on a diet. He's got to go on a diet. All right, buddy, you can get down and go to sleep. I'm sorry. There you go. There you go, bud. Good boy, bear. All right. I think he's going back to sleep. So opponent's going off. Puppy break. He is getting really big. Pfeffer with the gift subs to VK and Space Raymond and Hugmaster and Osla and Ryu. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Oh yeah, he's doing super good. Oh my. So my brother. I'm gonna need your help with this, chat. So my brother just got another puppy, and it is canine corso, I think it's called. It's like, I think it's an Italian Mastiff, but I think it's canine corso or something. And apparently, it's supposed to get even bigger than Bear. So now I got to figure out a way to one up him. Something that's bigger than a canine corso. So you take him on many walks. We go out for a walk, usually at least twice a day, hopefully 3 times. We go out every morning and every evening. And sometimes we sneak one in at lunchtime too, but yeah, I get him out pretty often. A real bear would win. A crocodile, cane corso. It is the meanest little puppy. I hope it's not. Wow, the Primeval Titan deck's pretty good too. I hope he outgrows it, but wow, it is my brother has 2 full-grown dogs. He has two full-grown Rottweilers. The nicest dogs you ever meet. They're just the friendliest, nicest dogs. He gets this 8-week-old puppy, this Cane Corso puppy, and the thing just took over one of the food bowls. Each of the Rottweilers had their own food bowl, and it's tiny. This little 8-week-old puppy took over one of the food bowls and kicked one of the adult dogs out. He said he'll just go and one of them will have a bone, and the little 8-week-old will just go up in their face and bark at him and growl at him and take their bone away, and they'll let him do it. He's taking over the dog household. And he's tiny. He'll be a big dog eventually, but he's just kind of this little tiny puppy who just apparently is the alpha of the dog world over there. Don't try to get dogs that are that big. As someone who's lived with dogs my whole life, dogs that are larger than bear tragically have short lifespan. I'm a pit bull lover. Pit bulls are weird. I always grew up, my mother, oh my goodness, very much was always scared of pit bulls. Thought they were the meanest dogs. So I always had that growing up, pit bulls, they're bad, they're gonna bite you or something. But then the couple of people I've known that have had pit bulls, they've been incredibly nice. So I think that pit bulls are another dog that kind of gets the bad rap. I don't know. I think dogs are like streams. We talked about this before. With streams, the chat takes on a lot of times it's a reflection of the streamer, the personality of the streamer. So if you're going to be salty and you're going to be angry, then your chat's going to come across that way. If you're going to be swearing all the time, then your chat's going to do that. If you're going to be saying, offensive slurs, then your chat's going to do that. But if you're, kind and nice and welcoming, then your chat's going to act that way. I think the dogs are the same way. That's been my experience. That it's really about the owner, and the breed of the dog is not as relevant as how the owner actually treats them and acts. Yeah, I think that's mostly true, dog. Fun fact, pit bulls used to be called nanny dogs because they were so good with kids. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think, I guess I probably shouldn't get a super huge dog. If I get another dog, I would want one that Bear could play with. That would be the goal. And I thought I could get something, just really a big Mastiff or something. But I think they wouldn't be active enough to actually go play with Bear, which would be the main reason that I'd want to get another one. I'm not getting another one now anyway, but maybe next year sometime. I always kind of wanted a St. Bernard. There was a St. Bernard that lived 2 roads. Wow. Opponent plays 4 Primeval Titans and concedes. 3 Primeval Titans. Okay. Well, we get to talk about dogs and win, apparently, as we do literally nothing. I don't know why that worked, but we'll take it. Okay. This doesn't actually seem very good though. Not good, not good. Hurkyl's Recall on a Amulet doesn't seem great. I guess we just run it back. Run it back. Get a dog you can hide in your beard. just a little one. Where's our Eye of Ugin? If we're gonna play these band decks, we gotta at least get one of the like crazy nut draw. Yeah, I think Stubborn and I will be good if we're on the play. So I think we consider bringing it in next game. Oh, okay. That's an Eye of Ugin. We will put Eldrazi Sky Spawner to the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Let's see the power of the bad cards. About it. Delirium West. Sure. Ooh, Cyclonic Rift. Interesting. So how do we do this? Eldrazi costs 2 less. So Eldrazi Temple into Eye of Ugin plus Thought Not Seer into Vesuva on Eldrazi Temple. I mean, I guess we can Eye of Ugin first. All right, Eye of Ugin, go. Hey, what's up, Joseph? Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Want to check a fun best of one deck I've played in a while? Yeah, I'd love to see it. I keep wondering if I should play more best of one, or at least, Eldrazi Mimic for free, Eldrazi Temple, Thought Not Seer for 2 mana. I mean, Eye of Ugin is kind of busted with these Eldrazi. Grows the Mimic. Sure, not that it matters. Takes a peek. You got a Titan. Hive Mind. Oh. Well. Let's take a Zeus. We're gonna try to kill him quick. Pass the turn. About it on depths. The idea that pit bulls are only mean to other dogs is dubious at best. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Word of advice for you in your chat: read your home rental insurance policy before getting a big dog, because some dogs will void your coverage. Ooh, I didn't realize that. That is good advice, Ring Chase. Well, Waste, Reality Smasher, Trigger, Hitcha, Opponent, takes it, blocks, down to 13. We don't have any colored mana, though, which is kind of an issue. Like, we got a fast clock, but our opponent's going to get us a Primeval Titan. They're going to gain some life. There's no Amulet, though. There's no Amulet, which is big. Opponent taps. Oh, God. Oh, dear. They're not going to... All right, we'll grab our green creature. Sure. Oh, so much for the Primeval Titan. Do you think they'll ever revisit the modern ban list? I hope so. My only concern would be like maybe they. Let's go like this. Maybe they just aren't focused enough on modern. That would kind of be my concern. Yeah, I kind of feel like Eldrazi is like. I mean, we haven't had like super explosive nut draws, but it honestly does feel pretty fair. Compared to a lot of these other band decks, I do almost feel like we're the fair mid-range deck, when other people are just like casting turn 3 Primeval Titans, going off with Hogaak on turn 2, and we're like, oh, Eldrazi Mimic, try to attack you. Yeah, that was, I mean, the last hand was a decent hand, and we still... I mean, we could have had colored mana, I guess would have helped, but the last hand wasn't bad, and we still got smacked. Keeping bad hands. So you would have mulliganed this 6? No. Flooded Strand hit ya. Opponent. What MH2 cards would improve it? I mean, there's not really any Eldrazi, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure Eldrazi really have gotten. Oh, okay. Well, there's no Amulet, which is good, but Summer Bloom is kind of. Well, is it busted without Amulet? Opponent gets 3 extra lands, bounce land. I mean, I guess this is still. It's insane with Amulet, but I guess this is still just going to get him to a Titan next turn. About it. Serum Visions. Alpine Moon was not printed when Eldrazi was at the top of the format. Ouch. Yeah, this isn't gonna. I mean, I don't. Sure. Waste an Eldrazi double past the turn. I don't know. Eldrazi has not been very impressive, like at all. About it. Highbinder, Primeval Titan. Which one do you got? The only way Wizards could convince me that Alchemy is good for Historic is if ignored. Wait, it would be if ignored non-meta cards get love. Okay, I could say like buffing stuff for tier 3 decks or whatever. I could see that. Well, here comes a Titan. Hey, what's up, Kraken? How are you? About it, Primeval Titan. A quick reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Are we winning? Not at the moment. At the moment, we're playing very fair Eldrazi against very unfair Primeval Titans. Huh. Maybe Eldrazi, maybe we could unban Eldrazi. I don't know. I guess it would be more lands and death. Yeah, this deck has not felt very strong. I mean, Eldrazi's 0-2. We are playing against even more degenerate decks, but that's kind of surprising. Oh, yeah, there's Acer Stone. So we're playing this event on Magic Online. So normally we're playing a deck that we made or someone else made, but this is actually an event of banned decks from Modern's past. So I don't actually have a deck list for them. Yeah, I mean, unbanning Eldrazi would probably. We are playing against really degenerate stuff. So if we were playing against normal stuff, plus the good draws with this deck are pretty insane. Like we haven't had a just play an Ayavugan, double Mimic into a Thought Not Seer. Like we haven't had a draw like that. Our draws have been pretty medium. Well, maybe this is an actual good draw for the deck. We got the Ayavugan. We start with Eldrazi Mimic. We can follow it up with Displacer or Sky Spawner. And then if we find some mana, get to Reality Smasher. Why is this deck playing Cyclonic Rift? That is such a weird choice. I think this Gauntlet is to test unbans. They put in Hogaak and Oko for distractions. Yeah, I mean, I don't think those are definitely not getting unbanned. Although the same time, I wonder if the colorless Eldrazi deck was better. Remember the builds that had Urborg, so you could tap your Ayavugan for mana? I feel like, oh boy, Amulet again. I feel like that was the most explosive version. This is kind of like a fair mid-range version that gives up a lot of that explosiveness to, I guess, be a better mid-range deck. Yeah, it does kind of seem like the decks were not. Oh, you can play a Sky Spawner. I mean, Ayavugan is busted. 2 mana off your Eldrazi. When they printed Ayavugan, I remember opening a pack of Rise of Eldrazi Worldwake. Opening a pack of Worldwake, and no one knew what Eldrazi were. And opening an Ayavugan, and it just made no sense. Like, what do you make of this card when you never even heard of Eldrazi? Colorless Eldrazi costs 2 less to cast. Pay 7, search up a color. Like, it was like the worst mythic. This was a mythic you didn't want to open when you were searching for your Jason Mind Sculptors. And then all of a sudden later, it becomes like the most broken thing. I hope this event is to test unbans. I mean, so actually, one of the reasons I want to play the event tonight is I got an article coming out this weekend talking about the modern ban list and the cards that should be unbanned, shouldn't be unbanned. There's a video that goes along with it. So I've been thinking a lot about the modern ban list recently. Dismember. So we can't Reality Smasher. Well, I guess this means we just Eldrazi Displacer. doing it the slow way. I mean, we're putting a board together. If we had drawn one more land to play this Reality Smasher, this still feels kind of fair, though. Honestly, this Eldrazi deck, I thought it was gonna feel more busted, but it actually feels kind of fair. Oh, this was from when Amulet Titan was insane. Summer Bloom was so crazy in that deck. I mean, Amulet Titan's still a legitimate tier deck in Modern, but when it had Summer Bloom, oh my god, it was over the top. Eldrazi would be smashing this deck. I mean, Eldrazi would definitely play Ayavugan if it could. But we are playing a lot of kind of janky cards. Wow, all right, opponent, can I have the land scoop it up? Come on, we need to get this crazy Eldrazi nut draw. We only got one more Eldrazi game. All right, we're up against Amulet Titan again. I wonder if they should have like built metagamed against other decks in the pod, maybe. Thought Knot is good, but we got nothing to go with it, and it's not coming down until turn 3. Doesn't seem that great. I mean, we got the eye, but nothing else. I heard about the. It's even worse. All right, that's as good as it gets. Metamorph to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Go, Drowner of Hope. I heard about the video testing those things, but I didn't actually see it. How was it, Zach Workman? What was the conclusion from Aspiring Spike and Caleb? Ooh, there's the Amulet. Well, Ayavugan, go. Yeah, they probably should have metagamed a little bit. Ignoring my fears for Historic, a constant adjusting model for Standard Digital actually sounds great, especially with how fast Standard gets salved and grows stale. I mean, that's one of the things that makes me excited about Alchemy is, my understanding is they're gonna release a Standard set. They're gonna release Kamigawa, and then a couple of months later, in between like Kamigawa's release in the next Standard set, they're gonna release the Alchemy cards. I think that's going to be kind of exciting. Like, you have Standard, you get the new cards, it's exciting for a month or 6 weeks, and then it gets stale. Even when Standard is good, it gets stale. Just because there's not a big card pool. So there's just only, there's not that many decks, essentially. So Standard tends to get stale. By the time Standard gets stale, if you're interested, then you can shift over and play some of the Alchemy stuff for a bit. As you wait for the new Standard set to come out and then shift back and forth. That's one of the aspects of Alchemy that I really like. The aspect of the rebalance cards messing with the historic economy, that's one of the aspects that I like the least. I'm just here to complain about not getting wild cards for nerfs. So I definitely was on the wild card for nerf thing in the past. I don't know if they have to do it for Alchemy in specific, honestly. It sounds like from how they talk about Alchemy is, yeah, more previews is, I mean, I like talking about new Magic cards, but boy, we already got a lot of previews, and having another preview season for digital-only cards is going to be interesting every set release. I hope Alchemy flops so WotC actually listens to the player base. I think that's legit criticism. That players have been asking for spectator mode, for improved economy, for Pioneer, and Wizards like, hey, here's this new thing that none of you asked for. That's probably going to make us a bunch of money. Like, here's Alchemy. So I think that's actually like I think that's fair criticism, I would say. Now, 1, 2. Thought Knot Seer. Please have a Titan we can snag. But not two. Not two of them. Thought Knot. Alright. Primeval Titan down. Go to combat. Hit you for 3. Hit you for 3. With our very, very fair Eldrazi. You know what we gotta do? You know what we gotta do is we got to do the Modern Man thing as an actual like event. I'm really curious. I think this event's definitely cool, and I'm glad we're doing it. But I'm really curious what some of these decks would do against the actual meta, and if they'd be safe to unban. Like, seeing how they work against other ban decks, it's a cool refresher on the decks, and it's fun. But I'd love to see, like, what if this deck, with its upgrades, 2021 upgrades, you make the best possible Ivug and Eldrazi deck with Modern Horizons 2 and Ikoria and Throne of Eldraine, throw it up against the actual tier of the meta and see what happens. I think that would actually be really interesting. Yeah, another bracket might be the way to go. I have a requirement. If I ever end up going to a GP and can somehow make food for you and the Goldfish crew, you don't get to know what it's in until it's out there. Well, Mega Magikarp, all of your recipes sound delicious, so I don't think you have anything to worry about. Oko trumps all. We haven't played an Oko deck yet. Apparently we're supposed to play eggs next. I can't believe y'all voted for eggs. We haven't even seen anyone. Eggs, I wonder if eggs is good. Eggs might just be too slow in this world. Like, eggs is really good at going off on what, turn 5 or 4? But I wonder if it'll be good enough to actually race some of these really fast decks. Did they draw a Titan? If our opponent drew a Titan, we're in a bit of trouble. Isn't Unmanned Modern just like Grave Triton, Burning Shoals, OTK? I actually think that Blazing Shoal is like one of the safest cards to unban. I don't actually think Blazing Shoal would really do much of anything. I don't even know if it'd see play. I don't know. So going along with the article, I have an article tier ranking the Modern ban list, and then I got a video about the cards that I think I would most like to see unbanned, the safest cards to unban. That's coming up on Sunday. So, but Blazing Shoal is one of the cards that I actually think is like really safe to unban, just because it's, I don't know, the way people used it 10 years ago is, I don't think it's even playable today. Like, playing it in fact to try to pitch a Progenitus or something, it is the jankiest, like, the jankiest plan. Just cast a Scale Up. They want to change Historic to be digital only. I mean, Historic has always been digital only, but the more digital only cards that are added to Historic, the less it makes it possible for it to ever come to paper. Because I know some people have said, like, oh, I'd love to have Historic in paper. Maybe it'll come to paper someday. I think that's done. Like, I don't even think there's a conversation about Historic ever coming to paper. It's not possible with all these digital only cards. Rather than describe a recipe, I have an image linked to some food I want you to see. All right, Magikarp, I'm down. Blazing Shoal, in fact, also ran Preordain and Ponder, which was banned. It might have run Probe, too. Yeah, I think it did. It had a big list of, wow, all right, opponent top deck the Titan. Does this mean we're dead? Primeval Titan. Double Amulets. We probably are dead, right? That was a key good draw for our opponent. Double Thoughtseize. But they top deck the Titan the turn after we thought not. It's all right, let's see this image of food. Looks kind of seafoody, I would say. A little bit of broccoli, but is this a human finger? That kind of looks like a human pinky finger. I don't think it's legal to eat human, Magikarp. I mean, that looked interesting. I don't know about the finger part, but it looks interesting. Oh, convincing me seafood is good is gonna be a tough sell. I've never been a big seafood fan. I mean, I am a goldfish after all. What do you think about the new Omnath? Should I start crafting elementals in Historic? New Omnath, boy, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it's playable. I think it's playable in Historic. +1 mana, I don't think that's the end of the world, but I don't think it's nearly as busted as it was before. When you look at it, when you look at Omnath, what makes Omnath possible is it's so free. It doesn't cost you a card because it draws with its ETB, and it doesn't cost you mana if you make those land drops because you can immediately get back your mana. So it's just like a free 4/4, which is kind of insane. Now it's not a free 4/4. It doesn't get you back the card, and it doesn't get you back all the mana you spent to cast on it. So I think it's still a card that can see play in Historic, and I think like Alchemy would actually in Historic, and it'll see play in Alchemy, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as busted as it was before. So I don't think you gotta like rush out to craft it or anything. Although I do think like a 4-color elemental deck with Risen Reef and Omnath, like that's probably still pretty sweet, even with the watered down Omnath. What is Alchemy? Alchemy is a new format coming to Magic Arena next week. That is, yeah, so you have to chump. It's a new format coming to Arena next week that is standard with rebalance cards. Like Goldspan Dragon has different tags. Alrund's Epiphany has different tags. Some of the cards have been powered up. Like Druid's Class is actually more powerful. So rebalance cards. And it also has a bunch of digital-only cards. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't hear about this earlier. It comes out actually a week from today. So yeah, December 8th or something. 7th? 9th, December 9th, a week from today is when it comes out. What do you think about the new cards being added to Historic? Like that part's actually, I think, one of my favorite parts. The rebalances to Historic, one of my least favorite parts, but I kind of like Historic being a digital first format or whatever whatever Wizards calls it. Like, I think it's kind of cool. Well, let me see Revolution. Ooh, famished Paladin combo. Yeah, that is definitely sweet. I haven't played this combo in a long time. The runes seem like a really sweet addition to it. Fighter class to be able to snake Sorcerer's Wand. Actually, it looks like I've seen the combo before. I haven't really thought about it recently though. This seems like a really cool build of it. I like it. I like some of the new additions that I hadn't really thought about how it would interact with the combo, but seems a lot more consistent. Before it's like, well, I hope I draw my Paladin. I hope I draw the Sorcerer's Wand. I hope, it all works out. Now it seems like there's a lot of good support pieces that weren't there before. Apparently, you aren't really playing Eggs next, right, Seth? I mean, technically people voted for it. I would rather... I mean, I think we're dead here. The other thing about having Amulet be so popular in this event is it takes people forever to play it, which makes sense. It's a very tricky deck to play, but I feel like we've had a lot of games where we play 3 minutes and our opponents play 15 minutes because, yeah, we're down to 4. We can't win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, Eldrazi has been a disappointment. It really has. What a disappointing deck. All right, Stubborn Denial's in. Cyclonic, well, actually, let's go down to just both Dismembers. Dismembers out. Run it like that. Eldrazi has been so bad. Are you confident you can play 1 Eggs match in less than an hour, let alone 3? Actually, little budget Magic history. Endless one. I mean, so look at this hand. This feels like a good hand. Or good enough. Like, we got Eye of Ugin. I guess the paths are okay. But then I look at it, I'm like, can this hand actually even win? We're going to play a 4/4 Endless one on turn 2, into a 5/5 Hasty Reality Smasher on turn 3, and then have Path? I mean, that's got to be a keep, right? It's got to be. It's got to be. But there, back in the early days of Budget Magic, there is an episode. I'm sure you can still find it from like 2015 or something. There actually is an episode where I played Eggs, and it is one of the least popular Budget Magics I ever made. That's why I was surprised people voted for it. Eggs is like kind of fun to play because you're kind of like trying to figure out how to put together a puzzle, sort of. And you get to do tons of things and play a ton of Magic while your opponent does nothing. So it's actually like kind of enjoyable if you're playing it. But I always thought it was a incredibly boring deck to watch. I mean, the classic, my everlasting memory of Eggs will be the Pro Tour where Kibler was playing, I think it was Sifka. It was, and Kibler, Sifka was comboing off with eggs and taking like a half-hour turn, and Kibler just like wrote F6, the Magic Online button for basically I pass my this turn no matter what. No matter what, I have no responses to everything. Like, come back to me when it's my turn. And he just wrote F6 on the paper and like walked away from the table. and that will always be what I think of when I think of eggs. That's the worst thing about eggs. That is the worst thing. No, this is actually a non-KCI version. But the worst thing about eggs is it's not deterministic. Like, your opponent, you know they're going to draw like their deck and they're going to do all this ridiculous stuff, but there's a chance that they fizzle. They're going to draw 10 cards, but if those 10 cards are all lands, then you're going to be good. So you can't really scoop because there's this like 0.001% chance that your opponent actually fizzles and you win. but then you have to sit there in like 99 out of every 100 times they don't actually fizzle. So you sit there like hoping against hope that a miracle's going to happen. And this is the time when they're going to fizzle, and then it never actually happens. Get in it, yeah. That's the best part about playing eggs. Eggs is truly the lantern control of God. It really is. It really is. Oh, 4 horsemen. Is 4 horsemen even legal? It's not, right? It's like, in paper at least, it's like you get a slow play warning because of how it's built. It's that tiny chance of fizzling that makes the best kind of combo deck. I like combo decks that I know is going to kill me, because if I know it's going to kill me, then I can just concede and go to the next game. So the ones that there's that tiny chance, those are the ones that drive me most crazy, because I got to sit there, oh my god, for 20 minutes while your opponent... But then if I'm in the, I can't say too much, because if I'm on the other side of the table and I'm the one that's Kaya storming and I'm the one that's like taking the 10-minute turn, I absolutely am loving every minute of it. So I guess, wow, all right, here they come. I mean, I guess you just got to accept it. Primeval Titan. Emil. Does this mean we're dead, right? Wow. This Eldrazi deck is so fair. Or maybe all the other decks are so busted that it feels fair, but like, should we not have played Reality Smasher and left up? We had turn 1 Ayavugan, turn 1 Ayavugan, turn 2 4/4, turn 3 5/5 haste, and we're just gonna die on turn 3 to Primeval Titan. But Legal 4 Horsemen is significantly worse because you need an extra piece to not die to tournament rules. Ah, okay. I knew there was something wonky with how it works. Yeah, I mean, double Amulet's insane. The funny thing is, while Amulet is less explosive now... Oh, well, Amulet is... Can we scoop? Let's scoop. I want to play more decks before we run out of time. Like, okay. So Eldrazi officially a bust. Oh. Yeah, maybe we'll do, not now, but maybe someday we'll do another one with Eldrazi. But wow, that felt pretty bad. That felt really bad. All right, are we really playing eggs next, or do you want to play something? So here's the options. I know people voted for eggs. Options that I think would be interesting to see if Twin is actually good anymore. Although, in a world of Hogaak and Amulet Titan, maybe Twin is too fair too. I'd love to see if Pod is good anymore. I don't think you really want to see eggs. If we do eggs, all right. So here's the deal. We'll do a match with eggs. I will not say that we're gonna play through an entire event with this, but we can try a match. We can try a match and see what happens, because people did vote for it. Yeah, the pod list is not ideal. So if you've never seen this deck, lucky you. So the idea of this deck is where's our actual finisher here? Oh, it's spell bomb. Oh my god, wizards. Why? If you've never seen the deck, it's the most painful, slowest combo deck of all time. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to find your Lotus Bloops. Your Lotus Bloops you could sacrifice for mana. You have all these chromatic spheres and chromatic. stars that you can sacrifice to churn through your deck. Eventually, after you sack a bunch of stuff, you cast Second Sunrise to get it all back. And then you sack it all again. After that, you're going to cast a Face Reward and get it all back. Then you sack it all again. Eventually, you're going to go through your entire deck. You're going to find your single copy of Pyrite Spellbob. And then you're going to loop that Pyrite Spellbob enough times to kill your opponent 2 damage at a time. It is glorious. It is absolutely glorious. Miserable. Oh boy, I'm so glad this deck is banned, honestly. I'm so glad it's banned. The deck is just, we're not gonna do a whole event with it, but we'll do a game with it. People did vote for it. It is just the slowest, least deterministic combo that you've ever seen. Well, okay, we got a Lotus Bloom. We got some eggs. Here we go. We got a Ghost Quarter in case our opponent's playing Amulet Titan. Ghost Quarter is good. Oh yeah, I forgot the important the important aspect of this deck. Because Second Sunrise and Face Reward return any of your permanents to go for the graveyard. One of the key aspects of not fizzling with this deck is using Ghost Quarter on your own lands to thin your deck, because fizzling is drawing too many lands. That's how you end up fizzling with the deck. So once you get going with the combo, you want to like Ghost Quarter your own land to thin your deck. Hashtag deck thinning. Krim would be proud, the biggest believer in deck thinning. But you want to let's see what they're up to. But you want to Ghost Quarter your own lands to thin your deck because you're getting back with Second Sunrise. And that decreases your chances of drawing too many lands in the future. Hogaak, of course. All right. Well, suspend and Conjurer's Bauble and go. Well, all right. Let's see if we can be fast enough. Opponent, their hand is not that great. A bunch of Stitcher Suppliers and a Vengevine. It's going to depend on what they mill. Stitcher Supplier 1, no Hogaaks, no Vengevines. No Hogaaks, no Vengevines. All right, that's fine. That's fine. About it. Well, we want to try to go off on the turn when we get this Lotus Bloom, ideally. Twin cast. Oh, golly. Okay, well, if we can find a Second Sunrise, maybe. Island. Elsewhere, Flask, draw a card. Second Sunrise? No. Land past the turn. Well, yeah, here we go. I mean, it is actually kind of a fun deck to play. I will admit, no Hogaaks, no Hogaaks. All right, just a Bloodghast, sure. Opponent cracks, plays a Stitcher. I mean, if they ever hit a Hogaak, we are in serious trouble. Yeah, I think this is the exact list. They did not update any of these lists. These are the lists before they were banned. Some of them are better than others. There's some things that are missing a bit. No Hogaaks? Hogaak. Opponent. Maybe they don't see the Hogaak. Goes attacking. Hits us. You don't wanna play that Hogaak. You don't want that 8/8. You don't want opponent wants 8/8. Yeah, this deck with the Urza Saga would be really good. I mean, really though, this is a deck that's banned not so much because of power level, and more because of how slow it is to play with and against. Like that's kind of the deal. Well, okay, past the turn. I mean, so we got to try to combo next turn. We're not really set up to go off, but we don't really have a choice but to try. There's a Bloodghast. We're going to need a Miracle, I believe. Opponent gets and hits us. Well, here comes a Lotus Bloom. Oh, that gives us mana. We don't have much card draw, though. Okay, here goes. Here goes. Nothing. Lotus Bloom, 3 extra mana. If we can draw a Second Sunrise or a Face Reward, then maybe we can go off. We get 1 redraw here. We get 1 redraw here. So we have 2 redraws and a draw for our turn. Okay, come on. Let's get our Lotus Bloom. Off to the races. Also, this is an older ban deck. Our opponent's got like a lot of Modern Horizons cards. This was banned way before that. So we don't really have those same options. Yeah, we basically just need to find a sunrise this turn. We don't have another turn to wait. So it's now or never. Now or never for the eggs. Yeah, we can't go to Ghost Quarter yet, but we'll Ghost Quarter before we start cracking stuff. Because we either find a way to win this turn or we're dead. Hey, what's up, Silas? How are you? Okay, opponent has returned. Well, all right, there's a Lotus Boom. We draw a land. So, we play a Plains. Or we tap the Plains. We play a Ghost Quarter. We Ghost Quarter our Plains. Yes. We get another... Oh, we don't have another Plains. Okay, get an island. Sack the Bauble. Put nothing on the bottom. We draw a Bauble. We... Ooh. Play the Bauble. We play the Bauble. We sack the Bauble. Okay, there's face reward. There's face reward. Okay. I should not have put that Bauble on the bottom. That was a mistake. Oh my goodness, in a reshape. Okay. Okay. So, we might be getting there. Actually, we can twin cast. So sack the Elsewhere Flask. Name Island. Sack the Elsewhere Flask. Here we go. Name Island. Twin cast. Oh no, we can't twin cast. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, I'm punning so hard. Oh my god. That doesn't work. Oh, the puns. No, we're not doing it. We're punning. Why did I think we could twin cast the face reward? Okay, well, let's see if we can recover. Yeah, that was not optimal by any stretch. So with the triggers on the stack, we float our mana, we Ghost Quarter ourselves. There were multiple punts here. So we do probably deserve to lose. Draw a card. It's a Bauble. Draw a card. It's a Misty. Well, crack the Bauble. Draw a card. Oh no. Crack the Bauble. Play the Bauble. Crack the Bauble. Sir of Visions. Bottom. Oh no. Yeah, dead. Oh, those puns. That's the other thing is. This is also a deck that, oh, we don't even have Graveyard Hate. We have a single Grafdigger's Cage. That's the other thing is this is a deck that it's not easy to play. And it runs on incredibly tight margins. So that little, like, it's so, winning is so tight with this deck that those little mistakes are actually a huge deal with a deck like this. With a lot of decks, like if you're playing, whatever, Hogaak or something, you don't sack something to Carrion Feeder, whatever, your deck is just so busted. It just doesn't actually matter. You just have such a high power level. On the other hand, yeah, I don't think Blind Obedience, like, does making our opponents, I guess it slows down. I mean, I guess it slows down Vengevines. The bigger issue is our opponent has a bunch of modern hate. So we have a second Sunrise. We're going to need to find... We got to find a Black Lotus, basically. All right. We'll try it. Here we go. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's no guarantee that we would have won anyway, but... All right. On to the next one. That was easy. Opponent had Graveyard Hate. How much better would this deck be with Brought Back? So brought back isn't better than Face Rewarder's second Sunrise. I don't know if additional copies would be. Yeah, I mean the deck can be Graveyard Hate. I don't know if having like additional copies in brought back would be helpful or not, honestly. Maybe to some extent. All right, we gotta at least see the combo go off once. We gotta see it go once. Opponent. Well, I mean, this was combo from like. That's why I'm writing the whole article. We're talking about. Yeah, that's kind of the big issue is we can't cycle our stuff because we need our stuff to go in the graveyard. So we can't even really dig through our deck to find any answers. All right, well, I guess some cantrips. But, I mean, when you see a deck like this, that's one of the big reasons that I'm doing the article about the modern ban list, because I really, truly think a lot of stuff from, like, even this deck, like, a lot of stuff from a bunch of years ago is just not scary anymore. This deck, we probably don't want unbanned just because... Just because of... Actually, let's do it the other way. Let's play an island. Serum Visions. Well, okay. Sounds actually going to be kind of insane if we can find some card draw. Probe to the bottom. Face Reward to the top. No Thought Knots, maybe? Reality Smasher Thought... Oh, Pony has a very good Eldrazi hand. Well, after losing with Eldrazi, our opponent's got the hand that's going to beat us. Eagle! And opponent comes 7-2. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do we even live until this comes down? I don't know that it does. That's probably too many turns because they get to follow this up with Reality Smash. And our opponent just, like, this is the Eldrazi nut draw that we never actually achieved when we were playing it. Urza Saga would be great in this deck for sure. Yeah, top is banned mostly because of its slowness. I don't think top is overpowered. It might be good in some sort of miracle deck, but you want to top the face reward? Yeah. Well, there goes one of our eggs. We're gonna need to hit some card draw for this to matter. Opponent passes. I mean, I'm not sure we live until our stuff comes down anyway. Scalding Tarn. Serum Visions. These are not helpful by any stretch. Bottom. Crack this. Get an island. Play a spell bomb. So we're dead, right? Oh, we're definitely dead. We don't even get to get our Lotus Bloom down. Well, all right. We got to see a good Eldrazi hand. Oh, my goodness. I feel like there's like two good decks in this queue and then a bunch of decks that get beat by the good decks. And for some reason, people only pick the good decks. Okay. So the answer to Graveyard Hate is Echoing Truth. The Eldrazi deck doesn't have much Graveyard Hate. There's not really any answer in the main deck. Something like Prismatic Ending would be pretty nice. Like, a lot of this, when you see these decks, they're just kind of old. They're just kind of old. And maybe if you updated them with more recent cards, they'd be good. I also think that it's funny that it's this build instead of a KCI build. I feel like it's almost weird to me that this deck doesn't have Carrot Clan Ironworks in it. Because that's just, like, so powerful. We had all the second Sunrises, too. We just couldn't get there. Well, I guess we gotta bring in... We probably gotta bring in Echoing Truths. I don't know about this twin cast idea. So bring in Echoing Truths so we have some sort of answer to something. Run it back. Zazie! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We gotta unban Deathrite. Deathrite desperately needs to be unbanned. Two redraws, no mana. Let's mulligan. All right, well, we'll keep this. This Could work, maybe. We got a reshape, so we get a Lotus Bloom. Echoing Truth to the bottom? Well, we'll see. We'll see. So we get one redraw. We can suspend the Lotus Bloom, potentially reshape into a Lotus Bloom. Land, suspend a Lotus Bloom, play Conjurer's Bauble. Opponent. Oh, so opponent now has a much less frightening hand, although they do have the Eye of Ugin. So we're going to have a turn 3 Reality Smasher. Are we going to be fast enough? Deathright is too good. Really? You think Deathright's still too good? I feel like Deathrite would be pretty fair. Oh, that's actually kind of an insane draw for our opponent. All right. Well, Serum Visions. Oh, no. Oh, no, not like this. Pass the turn. Why, Magic God? You really think the Deathright's still too good? In a world of Raga? Jeez, these cards, neither of those cards was in our opponent's opening hand. We saw it. We cast the Gataxia Probe. Mimic and Thought Knot were not in the hand. Opponent peeled those in a row off the top of their deck, and now that's super duper ultra game. All right, sure. Wow. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, we might get through a whole match with eggs, because eggs is, wow, talk about bad. Next level bad. Why do you think the Deathright's too good? You think Deathright's better than Ragavan? Interesting. I mean, Deathright's so fair and slow. Like, over the course of a game that goes, 10 turns, like 2015 Modern, Deathright's pretty good. But, I mean, it adds a mana, or it drains or gains for 2 for the cost of a mana. I don't know. My feeling, it'll be interesting once the article and stuff go up this weekend, but my feeling is when Deathrite was in the format, there wasn't a lot of good 1-drops. Now we have Ragavads and Esper Sentinels and Dragonrite Channelers and Monastery Swift Spears, and the list of good 1-drops is like a million miles long. Almost invalidates all graveyard strategies. Well, considering how I feel about Luris, that might be a positive rather than a negative. Yeah, I actually feel like it's actually, I feel like Deathright's fair. Like, I think it would be powerful. I don't think Deathright's bad. I'm not, I'm not a lunatic. But I think that Deathrite would be another, I think it would probably be another good 1-drop rather than, the only good 1-drop. Opponent, Eldrazi Mimic. Well, suspend a Lotus Bloom. Play a Chromatic Sphere. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Does our opponent have the Eldrazi Nut Draw? There's 12 decks in this? And we've seen 3 of them. Only 3 decks have seen play. Eldrazi, Hogaak, and Amulet Titan. There's so many cool decks that are not seeing play. Deathrite would be the best 1-drop, not even close. Really? You think so? Interesting. I mean, we got 1 mana 3/3s with flying that surveil your graveyard full, so you can play 2 mana 8/8s with flying on turn 3. You got Esper Sentinel drawing cards. You got Ragavad that just snowballs into a win super quickly. Well, play a land. Elsewhere, flash, draw a card. Another sphere. Oh, we really gotta hope there's not Thought Knot Seer about to come down. That would be bad for us. Well, that's a Thought Knot Seer about to come down. Jeez. All right. About it. Going to take something from our hand and hit us for 7. I don't even think we're going to Deathrite doesn't take a turn on to be active. Oh, Dragonrage Channeler. That's true. Wait, so are we just dead before we get to I mean, we don't even get to get a second Sunrise on the battlefield. So we have to somehow try to win right now? Wow. Yeah, this deck does not feel even slightly competitive. Maybe that's why no one plays it. Yeah, I mean, sure. If we had another turn, we could do things, but I mean, what do you even... Wow! Wow, wow, wow. This deck could... Oh, pfft, no. This deck might be able to win on, like, turn 5. Maybe. But no, this deck... I mean, this deck is... It basically needs Lotus Bloom to be on the battlefield. I guess maybe... Is there even a way it could win on turn 2? You play turn 1 Artifact, Island, kill the Artifact for... No, it can't. Maybe you could win on turn 3 if you can reshape into the Lotus Bloom, and even that's going to be asking for kind of a miracle, but I think this is... Yeah, I mean, you can reshape, but try to win on turn 3, but you're not going to have much action to... You're not going to have much action to go off with, so I don't think it's very... you'd have to have quite the hand to try to go off on turn... To try to go off on turn 3. I think it would be like turn 4 to turn 5. Most likely. It is not a very fast... Not a very fast deck. All right, we got a Lotus Bloom. We got a handful of second Sunrises. Unfortunately, we have no eggs to draw through our deck. Turn 1 egg, turn 2 flask, turn 3 reshape. But I mean, I feel like your odds of fizzling is still pretty high there, right? You only have 2 redraws. I don't know. Maybe that's enough. I would be worried about not having enough redraws to actually win and like fizzling mid combo if I did that. Ay. Alright. I mean, we gotta draw eggs, I guess. We have every second Sunrise. Literally every single one. Jesus. Now we have literally every single one. I was being hyperbolic before. Now I'm not. That is literally all of them. Opponent passes. We don't have any redraws, though, so this doesn't actually do anything. Opponent. I mean, we need at least a couple of redraws to try to go off. I mean, just looping just a Lotus Bloom doesn't do anything. So we need artifacts that actually draw us cards. And then this hand could actually do things, but... Oh, 1 egg would be so sketchy, but... Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Opponent. I mean, hopefully we draw more as we go along, is the thinking, but... All right, here comes the Lotus Bloom. Oh, I think we can wait. Pass the turn. We're not going to die this turn. Watch him play a Stony Silence or something, and then we're just... Oh, so sad. Okay, well, next turn's a turn we're going for it. Yeah, I'd be worried about a Stony Silence rather than dying. Yeah, it's sketchy if you only got 1 redraw. I mean, we do get to loop it a bunch of times, but 1 redraw is not a ton. Hopefully our opponent Thought Knots. This hand's hilarious. Yeah. Hey, hello, Thought Knots here. Look at what we got. Hey, what's up, Max J? Hey, what's up, Sir Frenzy? Oh, it's good. What would you like to take about it? Yeah, it takes a second, Sunrise. All right, well, here we go. Let's egg him. down to 3 second Sunrises. So opponent's gonna hit us. Well, we're going for it now because otherwise we're gonna die, most likely. We're taking 7. So yeah, we're gonna die if we don't. So all or nothing. Let's do it as well as we can. Down to 9. Not a redraw. Well, crack the sphere for, I guess, white. Crack this for white. Well, I guess, do we want to just Misty? Maybe we just Misty to thin the deck. I guess that's fine. All right, Misty, crack it. Get an island. Sack for white. Face reward. Actually, let's do the cheaper one. Let's second Sunrise. Get back our stuff. Crack the fetch land, thin the deck. Crack the sphere. Add a mana. Okay, there's a star. Okay, here we go. Here goes the eggs. Star. Crack the star. Keep it going. Another Lotus Bloom isn't helpful. Well, crack for white. Second Sunrise. Get them back. Thin the deck. This is how the deck works. This is exactly how eggs goes. Now we get 2 redraws. Crack the sphere. Hope for more redraws. Ooh, reshape. That might have been a slight punt. Yeah, that was probably a slight punt. We probably should have sacked the other one in case we do reshape. We could reshape the other one. What are we getting? What do we get is the question. Do we even need more mana at this point, or do we just need more draws? Well, let's sack this. Play Pyrite Spellbomb. Sack it. Sack this. Face reward. Thin the deck. Get an island. Reshape. The star. Draw a card. Get a Lotus Bloom. Sack it for white. Sack it for white. Sack this to draw a card. I mean, we should be good now, right? Sack this to draw a card. Elsewhere Flask. Actually, do we have enough mana? Chromatic Sphere. Crack Chromatic Sphere. Second Sunrise. Are we gonna fizzle? Is that how this is ending? Thin the deck. Last land down to 2. Sack this. Hey, what's up, Pumpkin? How are you? Sack this. Sack this. Actually, we can Serum Visions. Bottom. Elsewhere Flask. Draw a card. Sack this. Sack this. Another Lotus Bloom. Sack this. Draw a card. Sack this. Sack this. Oh yeah, we're playing this eggs deck, and so far it has been not very good. Is this even enough? I'm not even convinced this is enough. We get to draw a card. It's a ghost quarter. Like, we're gonna fizzle after all this, aren't we? Oh boy, we're down to 2, so we can't even shuffle. Oh, sack this. Sack this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Sack that. Sack that. Bobble. Put a sack at Sunrise to the bottom. Oh, we drew the face reward. Nobody in particular. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is big. That is really big. All right, play this. Put a second Sunrise to the bottom. Crack the fetch for no value. Wow, we drew 2 face rewards. That's fortunate. We drew our last 2 face rewards. Shuffle stuff back in. Okay, those were big draws. Crack this. Draw a card. I think we're good now. Now we should be doing it. Oh my god. Sack this, draw a card, sack this. Draw a card, sack this. Name whatever, face reward, get a back. Draw a card. Crack this, 4 white. Crack this, 4 white. Play an Elsewhere Flask. Draw a card. Chromatic. Actually, can we even play anything else? We can't use mana. Oh boy, we can't use mana there. We're always so pinched on mana. This is still kind of fizzly feeling. Name of Plains, Name of Plains. See, this is why this deck is so incredibly... so incredibly kind of dull to watch. Like, this is all it does again and again. Second Sunrise to the bottom. Draw a card. Second Sunrise or face reward to the bottom. Draw a card. Correct this. Add white. Draw nothing. Face reward. Get them back. Draw a couple cards. There's a second Sunrise. Oh, wouldn't Lab Man make this so much easier? It really, 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 really would. So, sack this for white. Sack this for white. Sack this for white. Sack this for whatever. We can float that for mana. Sack this. For whatever. Sack this. Add white. Oh, this is why did you vote for this, Chad? I swear. Okay, Seth, I can say with certainty, Seth, never ever do this kind of video for YouTube unless you're supposed to be the top recommended search for stuff to sleep to. I'm telling you. Go watch the Budget Magic from forever ago. Oh my god. It will make you wish to never watch a Budget Magic again. It will do it. It is like this is the deck. This is what it does again and again and again forever until you ooh. Wait. Is there still a now we actually got to think. Lotus Bloom, Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom, Lotus. Okay, so we can't get a Lotus Bloom. Oh, play this. Crack this. That's so boring. You voted for John. Wise choices. Wise choices. Another reshape. Play this. Crack this. Play this. Crack this. Draw a card. Play this. Crack this. Draw a card. Second sunrise. Can we scoop now, chat? Can we scoop? We draw a card. We draw a card. So if how does that get sunrise? So how we eventually get a win is looping this Pyrite Spellbob. We got to loop this Pyrite Spellbob enough times for lethal. That is the end game here. We only have 5 cards in our deck. We do have them right where we want them, but do we actually want them to be there? That is the question. Do we really? Who is actually winning this game? Who is actually winning this game? That's the question. I mean, technically, in a very technical sense, it's us, but really. All right, can we do this without accidentally milling ourselves out and losing? That is the other big question here. Okay, so there's a second sunrise. Crack this for mana. Pyrite Spellbomb you. Crack this. There's got to be an easier. What's the cleanest way to do this? So I mean, we want our library to be completely empty, right? Isn't that where it's easiest? So sack this. Sack this. Okay, so put Pyrite Spellbob to the bottom. Draw a card. And then we draw the dive on. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're gonna have 0 cards in our library. We sack this for red. All right, draw our last card. Then we can second sunrise. Actually, can we play this first? Play the Pyrite Spellbomb. Burn you with the Pyrite Spellbomb. Down to 11. Second sunrise. Get them back. Crack for red. Crack for white. Hit you with the Pyrite Spellbomb. Conjures Bobble. Get back the Pyrite Spellbomb. Play the Pyrite Spellbomb. Hit you with the Pyrite Spellbomb. Second Sunrise. Get him back. Crack for red. Crack for white. An opponent. Okay. That's it. That's all. That's all. We did it. We did it. You got it, opponent. You got it. I can't do it again. I can't do it again. Oh my. Okay. So you learned my eggs is banned. That's why. That is exactly why. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. All right. We'll try one more. We'll try one more. We got to get the taste of eggs out of our mouth. Oh, well, that is the beauty of eggs, or the horror of eggs, whichever you prefer. What were you gonna try? I feel like, was it Jund? We didn't try Jund. Okay, let's try the fairest to the fair. We haven't tried the fairest to the fair. I mean, this is I mean, Boomer Jund to the max. Maelstrom Pulse, Olivia Voldaren, 2015 at his finest. Little Light and Putrefies. Otherwise, Deathrite Shaman, Junding him out. I'm 3-0 with this deck in training with a Blue-Red Phoenix and wait, I'm throwing this deck in training. Win versus 2 Blue-Red Phoenix and a Hullbreaker. Ooh, Dimir Pact. Yeah, Demonic Pact is such a sweet card. Don't play the Millennial Jund list. How can we not play the Jund list? Yeah, that looks sweet. Daniel. Also, like, super cheap. Always nice to see decks that are cheap enough on Moto that you can use them with the 5-ticket loan program, the free 5-ticket loan program. All right. When in doubt, Jund him out. We're going Richard. I mean, let's see. Maybe Jund is a solution. At least 50% of the time. Couple Inquisitions, only 1 land. Looks like a mulligan. All right. 2 lands. That's better. Inquisition. That's going to get a Primeval Titan out of the way. We will keep. Probably Bolt to the bottom. Well, this is some good, clean, fair magic. Real Boomer Jund has Bloodbraid? That might be true. Well, Overrun Tomb untapped. Is Jund the solution to all these unfair decks? Inquisition you. Oh! Whoa. Okay. That's someone playing a different deck. We haven't seen Affinity once. Well, Juju Bean, props to you for not just playing Hogaak like everyone else is. Yeah, I think Bloodbraid was banned at the time this list came out, so that's probably why it's not included. Oh, this is 2015 Modern. Old school Affinity versus old school Jund. That is kind of excellent. For some reason, well, I guess the artifact clans have never been legal. No, this is pre-push Jund. Fatal Push came out slightly after Deathrite was banned, I believe. All right, Vault Scourge. So opponent's going to get the Master of Ethereum. A land isn't bad. Probably still just going to play Bob. Yeah, let's play Bob. Make sure we hit our land drops, hopefully. Play the land, play the Bob, pass the turn. All right, Bob, be good. Be good. Do you think that no banless Modern would be a healthy meta? I doubt it. There's some pretty degenerate stuff. When I was going through the ban list for the article coming out this weekend, like, there's a decent chunk of it that I think you just definitely want to not unban, basically under any circumstances. Okay, so we got to kill this, or it's going to kill us. I guess we don't got to kill it yet. Play the land, crack the land. Get a swamp. Play Skews. Pass the turn, leave up our terminate, no attacks. I mean, I think pod would be fine. I mean, at the same time, there's a decent of stuff that I don't think should ever probably be unbanned in Modern. But then at the same time, there is some stuff that I think is probably safe to unban. There's also a decent amount of stuff that I would like to see unbanned. Not Oko. Oko is not near the top of the list of cards that I would like to see unbanned. All right, opponent's going on the Vault Scourge. Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Gets in. Well, yeah, that was a good one. Cranial plating is a good payoff. So I think we have to kill this and we take 7. All right, kill that, take 7. All right, Bob. Be good, Bob. No Olivia's off the top, please. Punishing Fire would be interesting. Opponent fires up an Ink Moth for another damage. So we take 8 down to 6. Bob gives us, okay, a land. That's fine. Maelstrom Pulse, plating. Play a Treetop Village. Go to combat. Hit ya. Well, okay. If our opponent draws a Ravager or another plating, we're super dead. Otherwise, we're kind of stable. All right, opponent top decks 2 platings in a row. Okay. Well, Ancient Grudge is very good against our opponent's deck. Jund Charm is probably fine. Terminate, perhaps. Wow. What a brutal top deck. Golly. Huh. What do we cut? Thoughtseize? Maybe we cut the Thoughtseize. It is a bit painful. I want to see Deathrite in action, although I don't even think Deathrite's super good against... I don't even know if Deathrite's super good in this matchup. Our opponent doesn't even have fetch land, so I don't even know how consistently it's going to make mana. Oh no, Jund Charm's not bad. Deathrite Shaman is the card that is banned in this deck. For now. I honestly think they should unban it. Unban it. Unban it. I mean, it's going to kill you way slower and way fairer than Ragavan, so... So please, let's have a really... or just a nice, fun Deathrite Shaman Modern. Plus, it hates on Luris. I mean, Luris... Oh yeah, no, it just doesn't really see play. There's better options these days. But this is just like a straight up 2015 list. So it has not been updated with newer stuff. So there's just more options now. Well, Deathrite Shaman, go about it. Spire of Industry, Welding Jar, and as a answer. Okay. Well. Marsh Flats, crack it. Still not getting to see our Deathrite go off, but Tarmogoyf, go. Here comes the Goyf. About it. I will take it, Tanos. Also, how are things, Tanos? I will take Somewhat Convinced. That's a start. That's a start. Opponent plays a Vault Scourge. Well, Get in, hit ya. About it. Takes it. Blood Crypt, untap. Dark Confidant. Greatness at any cost. And go. I mean, with these removal spells in hand, I'm feeling pretty good. Do you think Wasteland would be fair in Modern? I don't know about fair. Master of Ethereum, eh? Huh. Well, let's bolt the Vault Scourge. Opponent can't regenerate, but that's fine if they do. All right, opponent lets it go. Wants to save the Master. Dark Confidant gives us pain. Well, terminate the Master of Ethereum. That's not gonna work. Terminate actually says can't be regenerated. Got him! Oh, and the shame scoop. I mean, it is pretty rare that can't be regenerated actually matters in Modern, but hey, what's up, Wigglegoot? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's super rare that matters, so you can't really blame our opponent too much for punting there, but yeah, that was good. That was real good. All right, about it. All right, Deathrite, take 2. It's gonna stick one of these times. Maybe this is the one. The Jump Charm, I think, could be a blowout in the right scenario. Opponent. Blinkmoth, an Ornithopter. And a Vault Scourge. Well, Swamp and Deathrite. Opponent's got a lot of things on the board already. Come on. Come on, we need a Deathrite activation. Opponent, land. Wow, all right. Fires up the Blinkmoth. Sure, hits us for 2-ish. Now play the land. How do we do this? Crack the land. Get a forest. Play Dark Confidant. Pass the turn. Deathrite at the ready with the bolt. Show us more fetch lands, Bob. Why did they stop printing regenerate? I think that it was a issue that it was pretty complicated, confusing. It is not the most intuitive how a lot of it works. So they basically dropped 2015, but pretty close, Nico. They basically dropped it and started adding like a Danto Vanguard style protection, like do this and give it indestructible or whatever. So that's kind of the direction that they've went. I don't know if that's actually. Ooh, Master of Ethereum. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Well, we will exile the land, add a red. I don't know if they'll ever bring back regeneration, honestly. Well, kill that. Take the 1. Fetch land. All right, there's the fetch land. I'll go to combat. Hit you with a bob. Opponent takes it. Play the land. We're running out of good instant speed removal. Play a Tarmogoyf. And yeah, let's just. Well, let's crack it. Crack this. Overgrow Tube, untapped. Ooh, down to 13. That's right. Number 2. Pass the turn. About it. Deathrite's sweet. It's sweet. I'm bummed. I feel like I'm going to be priced out of Historic now with it being a live format, so people have to buy more cards. Oh, Loop in the 13th. Yeah, that's one of my concerns with this announcement too. That's one of the big ones. I like a lot of aspects of it. I like new cards and fresh formats. Like that part is exciting. The cost is definitely a concern, especially in Historic. Opponent doing things. I don't know why they fired up that land. Oh my god, that's an Olivia. And opponent's go Jund him out. Jund him out. Okay, Jund is gotta win. We haven't played the unfair decks yet, but that was pretty good. I'm worried Alchemy might affect the price of gold. I mean, if it takes off, yeah. People figure it out. Yeah, I think the Alchemy. So I think the good news for Historic is I do think adding more digital only cards, I kind of like that aspect. Like that part I think for me is a positive. So that part's good. On the other hand, yeah, Ooze was expensive before it got reprinted. On the other hand, the rebalance cards and how that is going to impact Historic, that's a part that I'm a lot more a lot more questionable about. Not sure that part's going to be actually a positive. What was the historic announcement? So if you missed the announcement today, basically, let me see if I can pull this up. So basically, Wizards announced a new format called Alchemy coming to Magic Arena. Alchemy is standard, but with a bunch of new digital-only cards, like you're seeing here, releasing alongside each standard set, and regular rebalancing. So you can see Goldspan Dragon loses the treasure when it's targeted. It's only when it attacks. Or Elrond's Epiphany is more mana to foretell, and you only get birds if it's foretold. Or Faceless Haven loses a power. Druid class, Wizard class, they get cheaper to upgrade to the last level. So basically, it's standard with digital only and with these rebalance cards. What impacts historic is the rebalance cards. The rebalance cards are... Was this a Jundmere? Or is this Hogaak? Overgrown Tomb for opponent. What hits on historic is... Well, it is a Jundmere. Wow, the fairest magic. What hits on historic is essentially the rebalance cards are the versions that you'll have in historic. So in historic, your Goldspan Dragon is going to be the nerf version, or your Druid class is going to be the powered up version. So that's kind of the issue. Who opponent? Death, right? Liliana. That is like the classic and perhaps unbeatable here at Junstart for our opponent. Well, all right. Maelstrom Pulse is good. That gives us some hope of dealing with this Liliana. About it. Oh yeah, we're in a super bad position. I mean, opponent turn 2 Liliana is about as good as it gets in a Jundmere. Bolts or Bob. And Tarmogoyf. Are you taking up? They are. All right, well, opponent's out of cards. That's something. Opponent hits us. Play a Swamp. Kill the Liliana. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. We got this Scavenging Ooze. If our opponent doesn't draw anything, maybe... I mean, that can clean out the graveyard. Can fizzle the Death Ray. That could be something that gets us back into this game. About it. Adepts. Going to eat a pulse. Drain us. Sure. Hit us for 4. I mean, we're still at 17. We're technically ahead in damage right now. Oh, gonna have to find a new hobby because of the alchemy stuff. Thoughtseize isn't super helpful. I'll play the land, play a ooze. Really need to untap with this ooze, I think. That would be the most helpful. Opponent untaps. Do they draw removal? Our hand is pretty dead right now. Well, that is fine. Thank you, opponent. We did not want that anyways. Thoughtseize is our Thoughtseize. Gets in with the Goyf. Sure. Down to 9. Well, crack the catacombs. Get a forest. Start the eating of the graveyard. Eat the ooze. I think Wizards wants to phase out paper completely sooner or later. Digital has much less logistical costs, and dropping it also reduces the company's other costs. Oh, opponent's going to eat those. Okay, that's fine. Better than them draining us, I think. Oh boy, not the best timing for Inquisition. Well, play the land. We will eat a Dark Confidant right now. Well, eat the Olivia. This shrinks the Goyf. a little bit past the turn. I don't think Wizards wants to get rid of paper completely. I think there's things Wizards really likes about paper, like Commander in specific. But it is possible that as far as like tournament play, that's something Wizards would like to be completely digital. Opponent gets in with a goif. That doesn't seem impossible to me. I don't think paper is going anywhere anytime soon. Too much money is made. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, Wizards likes making money. And they don't especially care what for. Oh, no. Really good at drawing a discard into discard. Well, past the turn. This is where you can see the power of a Deathrite Shaman about it. We have run pretty awkwardly to top deck all these discard spells off the stop. Opponent gonna go after our Thoughtseize while we will eat it. Opponent gonna untap. Affinity to Squirtle for the 4th month. Hey Seth, are you planning on playing any other decks like Affinity in the Gauntlet? Best of luck as always. I always enjoy watching your VODs on YouTube before bed with your deck shenanigans. Hey, well, thank you, Affinity. Yeah, this is probably going to be the last deck we play for tonight, honestly. We've played what? This is our 5th deck? I think 4th. So maybe some time with Affinity, but I think Jund is probably the last deck that we'll actually play. Wow, opponent's going to get in there. Huh. Did they draw removal? Okay, block here. Isn't this just like a big blowout in our favor or no? Because we can exile Catacombs. Shrink the goif. Kill the goif. Oh, that was big. That was big. Opponent has a bolt. Well, that's less good. Eat the goif. All right, so opponent was willing to throw away the goif to kill our ooze, and now they're gonna try to win with death, right? Oh, well, okay. Well, it appears our opponent has drawn real cards while we have been drawing discard spells off the top. Ouch. Best deck you play in the Gauntlet. I think Hogaak or Amulet Titan, I think, is pretty far and away the best deck in the Gauntlet. Hogaak in specific is like insanely broken. But Amulet Titan is like very good too. Opponent should have eaten the goif with Deathrite in response. Yeah, kind of interesting the way that worked out. The other day, a friend was playing Calling the Weak, and we had to search the updated cards since we didn't know if they were an enchantment or what. Yeah, things are getting more and more confusing in Magic, that's for sure. Should bring in Olivia, Thrun, and Sword instead of this card. Isn't Thrun pretty weak to... Isn't Thrun pretty weak to Liliana? I feel like Thrun is just gets sniped so easy. But maybe it's better than I think. For me personally, I do like online tournament play because of my social anxiety. I make at least 40% less mistakes playing online. I mean, I've always been someone who's mostly enjoyed playing online too. Yeah, opponent is good at having the death right. Better than we are having the death right. Oh boy, more lands. Well, that's not exactly what we were hoping for. Get a forest. Man, get a forest. Kill the death right. Pass the turn. All right, good cards. Yeah, it's been a long one tonight, Envon, but we're getting to the end. This is the end. The end of the modern band stream. Tarmogoyf for our opponent. We'd like our opponent to Liliana or Baloth into play. Well, I mean, I guess we can Liliana our opponent's Tarmogoyf out of play. It does seem like Liliana is a pretty big deal in this mirror. What's the next deck pod? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to pod. I think this is probably this is the last deck of this stream, I think. About it. But it would be, we'll see. Maybe we'll do some more in the future sometime. Opponent passes. Oh, we get a death, right? Well, play. Actually, take up Liliana. Discard the swamp. Play a death, right? Now we're the one with the 1-drop. Marsh Flats past the turn. Okay, things are looking up. Things are looking up. About it at depths. Bonus Friday stream. Maybe someday. I got a bunch of other stuff that opponent firing up the treetop village. I got a bunch of other stuff I gotta do tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're apparently back in spoiler season thanks to Alchemy. So I got like Commander Clash podcast and spoilers. So I don't know if I'll actually be able to stream tomorrow. That's always a problem that comes with more streams. I think more streams could be fun. But then you got all the YouTube stuff, and that ends up being the challenge mostly. I'll play the Baloth. Gain some life. Finding the right mixture between streaming and YouTube. All right, Mega Mana, play a death right. Well, we're just gonna empty our hand and take up Liliana's and hope that gets the job done. I mean, I feel like we're in pretty good shape here. Vote it. Gotta discard something. Dark Confidant, sure. Untapped. I mean, we got the board. We got the Liliana. We got the Death Rights. Now we can see the power of Death Rights. Is it really possibly safe that we could unban Death Right? Mama Boo! Welcome for the 15th month. And opponent skips it up. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The run. I mean, I do agree that in general, in a Jund mirror, you don't want to be top decking discard. Still not sure about Thrun in specific. I mean, I agree in theory. I just don't know if I like the specific sideboard cards that we have access to. But I do agree that in the Jund mirror, you don't want to be the one with a bunch of discard. About it. Marsh Flats, Overgrowth 2. And Deathrite Shaman. This could go poorly. Losing a die roll means, or being on the draw means, our opponent can potentially just Liliana and kill our Deathrite, and then we're pretty far behind. About it. Land. And Liliana, and kills our Deathrite, and we're pretty far behind. Opponents had this is like the Jund 2015 Jund Nut Draw. Opponent had that in games 1 and game 3, which not good for us, that's for sure. Game 3, we ended up fighting back into it and making it like a bit close, but in the end, the turn 2 Liliana on the play was just too much. Now play go past the turn. We'll see. We'll see. About it. I mean, Thrun gets got by Liliana though. That's a downside. It's fine. It's good against other removal, but pretty weak to Liliana. About it. Olivia. That's awkward. Oh, jeez. So does this mean we're dead? Basically. Wow. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs. Liliana. This Deathrite did some serious work for our opponent here. Like, if we take down, we just get the Deathrite, and we still can't attack, and then this Olivia's gonna go off. If we take up, it's not much better, though. I mean, I guess we have to take down and kill the Deathrite, but at this point, the 2 mana activations, the damage has kind of been done. Well, pass the turn. Olivia's a mirror breaker, in my opinion. If the game drags on, she's a nightmare. She shoots down, always, Pop always? Oh, Bob always? Shoots out Bob always and can fly past and kill walkers. Yeah, I mean, if she actually sticks around, that's true. I mean, it also, I don't know. Opponent. Gonna ping the Goyf. I mean, it's gonna work out for our opponent here, but it also just gets sniped immediately by a bolt for 4 mana. Opponent gonna kill the Liliana. But, I mean, in this case, our opponent got off to a super fast start, which is going to allow them to win the game, I think. Yeah, this one's just super over. Well, I mean, we'll play it out for another turn, but it's super over. About it. Yeah, I mean, we can play the sword, but it's not gonna be likely that we can get it on anything. Well, I mean, we definitely got to see the power of Deathrite and what it can do when you have the ideal draw, for sure. But really, is that any different than a Noble Hierarch? Like, turn 1, Ignoble Hierarch into Liliana, into Olivia, like, that's wow, they drew another creature at the perfect time. Opponent's definitely done a good job of top decking the creatures to keep this Olivia around, which is kind of annoying. Tick down Olivia. And our Jund deck just does not seem to have the ability to draw a removal spell here. About it. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to with Liliana. Like, if Liliana actually stays on the battlefield, it's incredibly powerful. But it is pretty fragile. And it's not the fastest. About it. But it's some good classic 2015 magic. Opponent, Deathrite again. Well, Liliana buffer. Goes to combat. Which are some of the best 1-drops in Modern? Opponent gets in, hits us. And Scavenge a Goose. And a land. Alright, so opponent has played all their stuff, and this one, I think, is officially over. Still doesn't activate their Liliana. Opponent forgot that it existed. I guess playing around a Baloth, and alright. Sure. Well, for some reason, our Jund deck did not manage to find a single removal spell, but that's very Jundy, I guess, in the mirror. Hey, Seth, are there any cards that are banned that you think should be unbanned from playing in this event? I mean, I don't think this event has had much of a major impact on my thinking. Like, kind of the issue with this event is you're playing against other outdated ban cards. I think it's a fun event, and it's nostalgic, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see some of these old decks, but as far as figuring out, like, oh, what could something do in the current meta, I don't think it's actually super, or even at all helpful there, because it's like, oh, like, what does Hogaak do against 2013 eggs? And it's just not really, none of it's really relevant. So I don't think any of this has really changed my thinking at all on any of the ban list stuff, but it does have me intrigued. I've been doing some articles and videos on it, and could definitely imagine doing some more video stuff with it that is not the pre-con battle. I would be very interested to see how updated versions of some of the old man decks that incorporate. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's reconfirmed that some stuff is busted. Like, Hogaak is obviously, like, insane. Even in a world of all band decks, it's still insane. Well, okay. Can Bob beat the Eldrazi nut draw? We will see. Opponent. Eldrazi Temple. And Endless One. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Dark Confidant, save us about it untaps. Honestly, I think Deathray Shaman is a lot weaker with all the removal and giant power spikes we have over the years. Prismatic and Unholy Heat Eat It Alive basically makes it a waste of a slot. I mean, that's kind of, oh boy. The classic Eldrazi running where you top deck the second Eldrazi temple. That's unfortunate. That means we just die. I mean, this is where Eldrazi is going to shine. Eldrazi might not look great when you're playing against Hogaak and you're playing against Amulet Titan, but when you're playing against a deck like Jund, it is kind of obscene how good Eldrazi can be, especially when you have two Eldrazi temples. Yeah, that's kind of where I land on Deathray Shaman, honestly. You got Fatal Push, you got Unholy Heat, there's like a million Solitudes, there's a million removal spells, which are really good against it. Oh, double. All right, Coco Jund, doing your best, doing your best. Way to go. But yeah, that's kind of where I land with that stuff as well. So much removal, so many other one drops. And the other thing is when it comes to unbanning cards, you can always reban cards. There really isn't a huge downside to unbanning cards, because worst case you do like Golgari Grave Troll and you just reban them. I mean, the dice removal argument though, I think it's really important to point out that Deathray Shaman can win the game really slowly. Like Deathray Shaman over the course of 5 or 10 turns, really, really powerful, and it can win the game. On the other hand, Ragavan, it wins the game incredibly quickly. Like Ragavan, you play a Ragavan on turn 1, you hit with it 2 times, 1 time, you pretty much just essentially win the game. When Deathray Shaman, it's a Llanowar Elves or something. It definitely doesn't win you the game, and its drain ability takes a long time to really get going. So it just doesn't have the snowball potential. Like Ragavan, what makes Ragavan so powerful is it's a 1-drop that literally wins the game on its own if it goes unchecked. Deathray Shaman, I guess I can see the argument like, oh, it can drain you. So I guess in a very literal sense, it can win the game on its own, but it takes a lot of turns compared to what Ragavan does. I think they'll go in the same decks. I mean, that could be a possibility. But is that a vote against Deathray Shaman or a vote against Ragavan? And I mean, I do think the removal plays into it, because back in 2015 when Deathrite was banned, I mean, you see the removal that's being played. There's no fatal pushes. There's no unholy heats. We're playing like Maelstrom Pulse. We're playing Olivia's. Like today, if you're playing Jund, everything costs 2 mana or less. You're a Lurrus deck. Everything costs 2 mana or less, and you have fatal pushes, you have unholy heats, you have a million things that snipe it for 1 mana. I think if you're trading 3 mana, 4 mana to kill a Deathrite, you're probably losing. Like that's just a huge negative tempo swing. But now every deck has like 1 or 0 mana ways that can kill it. I feel like Deathray Shaman, turn 2, fetch test Ragavan, and if you hit a 2-drop, you double spell on turn 2. Yeah, Ragavan's busted. Agreed. I mean, that's the snowball potential of Ragavan. I mean, because you could say that same line with Llanowar Elves, right? Or like Birds of Paradise. To me, that's an example of how insane Ragavan is. And to me, how insane Ragavan is an argument for unbanning Deathray Shaman. Because if Ragavan is okay for If Ragavan is okay for Modern, then it's just really hard for me to see how something like Deathrite Shaman should not at least be given a chance. Like, is there a chance that it's still too good? Sure, like, there's always a chance, but I think you gotta at least try it. About it. I also like that Deathrite is good against Lurus. Well, opponent's going off. Yeah, Jund is a really fair version of Eldrazi, essentially. We were talking about Eldrazi being fair. Jund is like Eldrazi on fairness steroids. It's so fair. About it, I have Ugin, many manas. Gets in to hit us. Okay. I guess we take it. Down to 14. Opponent. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that makes us lose. Double Displacer is pretty tough. Because now the Displacers can protect the Displacers, and that means... Oh, this means all kinds of bad things. This means we can't actually deal with the... With the Drowner of Hope. Oh no, oh no. Well, this is sort of awkward, but Thoughtseize, the Drowner of Hope. That's something. A little bit of something. These two Displacers are still kind of a huge issue. I don't even think we can attack. And we'll play the Tap Lad. And we'll pass the turn. And opponent untaps. I think there's more than 10 or 12 cards. Like, there's a lot of cards that I think are non-starters. All the fast mana stuff, all the stuff that was banned in the last year or two, the Okos and Omnasts of the world, like, I think that those are just... I don't even know if it's really worth talking about the possibility of unbanning them. About it. Passes. Well, okay. We will... I guess 1, 2. Terminate the Displacer. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Shock ourselves. This does leave us potentially dead to a Reality Smasher off the top, but kill the Displacer. We gotta go for it. I mean, our opponent has a better top deck, so we just gotta try to close out the game. Eat a Displacer. Eat a Displacer. Go to combat. Hit you for 4 down to 13. Come on, Ooze. Come on, Scoos. We're gonna get a fixed Oko in Alchemy. I kind of hope not, but I figure I would ask. I assume so. Like, so they focus on Alchemy, and since Oko is not in Standard anymore, it wouldn't be part of Alchemy. But just from hearing how they talked about it, it kind of sounded like they would be trying to unban stuff in Historic. That sounds like the idea of living formats. Like, these living formats, it sounds like they... Oh, another one! It sounds like they do not want to have a ban list, period. And instead, they want to rebalance cards. Hey, what's up, One Trick Steed? Good to see you. So I think that that's the idea. I think that that's what they're trying to do. But, I mean, we'll have to see. But I didn't hear that explicitly announced. So they were going to rebalance banned Historic cards, but that's the impression I got. Are the nerf cards going to be introduced into Historic or just in the new format? Does anyone know? The nerf cards and the ban cards are going to be the versions that are played in the new format and also in Historic. Opponent. You showed some images the other day where they fan-made speculation. Images of what? Opponent. Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, that's going to beat us. Opponent gets in, hits us to 3. Wow. Oh. Oh, Jund. Jund. Yeah, the birthing pod list is not very good. Yeah, we can't beat this. Our opponent can just tap down everything, displace everything, the Drowner of Hope off the top. So what do we learn about these decks? And we can't really see them all. We learned a couple of things. We learned that Hogaak is still insanely busted. We learned that Summer Bloom is insanely busted. We learned that Eggs is insanely boring. And we learned that Jund, Unban Deathrite. Unban Deathrite! It's gonna be fine. Come on now. Unban the Deathrite. Perfectly fine. Worst case, ban it again, but I actually think it would be perfectly fine. So, on that note, everyone, long stream tonight. We also talked about Alchemy a bunch. We'll talk more about that in the future, but I think we learned that Jund is still bad. Yeah, when you don't have Lurrus and Dragon Rage Channeler and Ragavan, Jund is not, that good of a deck. But I think that brings us to the end of our stream for tonight. So reminders. Replay YouTube, that's where you'd find the old stream. Normal YouTube, more thoughts on Alchemy on there. Tons of Modern coming up, other crazy stuff. And one more reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Magic cards, you can get them from cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Even get a free Goldfish sticker. Most importantly, thank you to all of you for hanging out. Weird stream tonight, I know, talking Alchemy, playing old band decks, but we'll get back to some Standard and Modern and that stuff next week. So until then, everyone, have an amazing weekend. Have a great night. I love y'all. Thanks again for hanging out, and I will see you next week.